Uh, all right. Just bear with me for a moment here, and then I'll jump right into the show. Let me just make sure everything is up and running smoothly, and then we'll get into it. Right, we'll kick this thing off. Side joke. Um, all right, looks like everything's up and running. Okay, so of course I want to open up the show with saying Shalom. Right, of course I want to start off by giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Um, but I wanted to, may I say, give a couple words on this whole incident that happened over in where was it? Over in Michigan, I believe, or somewhere over near Baltimore, right? This whole school incident. I gotta watch what I say. But one thing that I find is interesting is I was looking on the news earlier. I didn't get to watch the video because I literally just woke up like 15 minutes ago. So I was answering some comments real quick, and I saw and read the recommendation. It said something along the lines of at the family was charged as well with involuntary manslaughter, and then something happened where it's live right now. It's they called it breaking news. you know, uh, his family has fled. Right, no one could find where they're at. Right now. Hey, my God, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Yo, ETT, man. I don't want to interrupt. Just listening in. What's up, dude?
And I was just going over this whole incident. So his they can't find where his family is right now. And this is
Hmm.
happening right now. But I wanted to chime in on it because it's like, well, wait a second. His family didn't have anything to do with it, so why would they go after his family then? That's unjust to lock them up if they had nothing to do with this man's crimes. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Is
And
this
you
that
know what's funny
Oxford
is
thing? Is that Oxford
the
uncle?
incident. If that's the name of the school, then
Right.
yes.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Right, right. So I was just commenting on it because it's like, wait a second, why the hell does his family have to? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense.
It just cut out, man. I just got the last piece. It doesn't make any sense. What'd you say before that?
Oh, I said that it doesn't make sense to charge his family as well if
Right.
they weren't the ones who went and committed the crime. That's ridiculous, and it's funny as well because when we tell people that oh well, you got to pay for what your forefathers did, they'll be like, well, wait a second, I didn't do nothing, and then they'll
Yeah.
turn around and the whole system will enact the same amount of judgment upon somebody, right? Put someone behind bars who didn't even do anything. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
It's kind of the same way credit works, actually. Like if you are affiliated with like, a person who has like debts, they can actually come after like your family and stuff, which I don't know how they can get away with that legally. I think you may have to be like living in their home or something like that, but that's sort of not really right either. You can't pay for the, errors of somebody else, that kind of thing. But apparently that they do that, debt collectors and stuff. So,
Yeah, yeah, man. It's definitely something, man. It's definitely messed up. But I actually went out on the highways and byways earlier today. The video will probably be up tomorrow. But
mhm.
yeah, man, it's I was talking about, how these Christians are out here. And I always like to hearken upon the one thing they bring up. Oh, it's not that what goes in the mouth that defiles the man. Like our friend Ridge believes that. I'll use
Right.
that to say, oh, you can eat whatever the hell you want. Because see, Christ said it's not that which goes in you that defiles you. So see, you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my position on that Isaiah verse, and I would say just anything in general, it's like, why risk it? Like, let's say that is talking about a particular group that's worshiping, in a unique way that's evil. it's like, why would God put that there? You know, just it's we can't believe that. You know, even that's kind of what Pops and Mike were trying to sell us yesterday. It's like, no, the Bible's not constructed just randomly. You know, like there's a reason why that verse is there, talking about swine's flesh and eating the mouse and stuff. So what's the? I mean, I don't think mouse is tempting for any of us to eat, but like, why not be on the cautious side? So that's my position. And even the thing with printing for the dead or whatever, it's like, why do it? Like, what benefit does a tattoo have? Like, just practically. So you know, that's the way I would view it. Like, I don't think any of the things in the Bible, like everything's logical. Like, it makes sense. Even legal age is logical when you think about it, whatever it may be.
Right, right. As I said, man, guys are just hey, look, as I like to say, they're drowning in ankle deep water. To put it into
Right.
simple to understand words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the cool
I
thing
mean, it's
about it, you know,
ridiculous.
like once you
With
get
these.
into the Bible, you
Go
do
ahead.
really think differently, you know, like, you know, as you get deeper into it, and then you start realizing that that's the way we should think. You know, it takes a bit of time to get there, but yeah, that's the amazing thing I would say about the Bible when you read it from beginning to end.
Yeah, yeah. That's why scriptures speak about that you have to put off the way that you fall in this world. When you come into this truth, that's why it speaks about. Not nearly paraphrasing it, but it says, if any man, come to Christ and be born again in him, that he is a new creature, right? He has to, renew his mindset, when he came into
Right.
this thing. Like, I'll give an
Yeah.
example, man. Our morality, when we were in the world, would probably be the same as the society we grew up in. But then
Hmm.
once we started to get, into these, scriptures, then we, now we see with a different eye, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, it's I'll read Hebrews 4:12. This is a good one. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. That's deep. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if
that's a
you if
good one,
you
man. That's a good one.
the world's just a joke, man. Like everybody's just lost. Even I was golfing today. There's guys talking about how much he hates it. He's Canadian. He's in America now. He hates the stuff that's going on here, and everybody hates this place, man. Like we need a reset. You know, I think you know what kind of reset I'm talking about, but this place is stupid, man. Like all aspects of it,
Right,
and really, that's the cool thing about the Bible.
right,
That's
right. I
exactly
mean,
what the
hell,
Bible
man.
says. Yeah, go ahead.
Right, right. I agree, man. It's just this place is just doing too much, man. And I mean, you can see, man, everywhere you go, it's just it's unbelievable, the level of poverty that we're seeing
Yeah.
right among these people. And it's like, well, how the hell do things get this bad in the in the richest country on earth? Right?
Hmm.
Everyone is down and out, right? Everyone is financially, unstable right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just
Yeah. I agree.
there's too much just going on right now. And then with this whole, I'll chime in on this a little bit. I was watching earlier today, with this this new variant out there, this new
Yeah.
strain. I gotta watch what I say. But they detected like five more, you know, um,
What?
cases,
Oh, okay.
in
Got it.
America. So yesterday it was one. Yeah,
Right.
yesterday it was one. Now today it's five. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday it's one. Today it's five. Tomorrow it's going to be 20. And then
Right.
it just grows on from that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
they're saying that this one is much more, may I say, for lack of better words, I'll say it's more effective than the first two. You know what I'm saying? So they're definitely
Yeah.
gonna, try to lock everything down, again. But the thing is with that is, these people are done already. So just imagine what happens when it locked down the country, or as Larkin Rose would say, the crunchy, when they lock it down
Right.
again. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and we don't see what's happening with the
Yeah, yeah, man.
people
It's
on the
just
news.
go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like we don't see obviously the struggles of people on the news because like then it would just, you know, it'd get ridiculous. You know, the markets would crash. They'd be like, wow, this place is really bad. But it is a bit of like a slow kill, you know, like it's just people just struggling, you know, and like all that kind of stuff. And then yeah, it's kind of obvious. And like even when I use Uber and Lyft once in a while because I sold my car, you can tell like the people that are driving that, like they're like educated people. You know, like somebody, I'm not trying to be rude, but like somebody that would do something like that is like for a filler, you know, or a little bit extra money, or they're trying to like save up for something, but they're like professionals, you know, like people. And like some of them are driving nice cars, so it's like clearly they're doing that because they're not in a good shape financially. So writing's on the wall, man. This place is over. It's done.
Right, right. You're right
Yeah.
on that. That's a yeah, yeah, man. That's a good way, to look at it, man. I mean, hell, it's just as I said, man, there's just too much that's going on right now,
Yeah.
in the world, man. This truly has to be it, right? In the words of Rudy McKnight, this is it. Right?
Yeah.
This is it. It has to be.
Yeah.
This place can't, be healed, right? America, this place can't be healed, man. And
Yeah.
as I said, we don't see any of this going on in no Vatican City. So that
Yeah.
cuts these tried and fried guys, man.
Right. You know, the crazy thing too about money printing too is that that actually can fix it, because it's gotten to the point now where you just print more of it. It's just going to get absolutely blatantly obvious that the dollar's dead. So it is one of those things where this system was designed to fail. Now the question is, was it designed to fail by the Most High? That's a little bit of a wait and see. I noticed one of your videos said "Time will tell." That's appropriately titled. Um, Not too much more time. It'll be known, but there's no way out. You can't wiggle your way out of this. Like all these companies are totally useless. Like you don't need a Facebook and an Instagram and you don't need these things for anything really. So, and they're the richest companies. So what does that tell us?
Right, right. Right, definitely, man. Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, right. It's just as I said, man, there is no way to to bounce back from the shape that the world's in right now, specifically focusing in, on America, Babylon the Great, of course, because that's the
Yeah.
focal point, of the prophecies is over here. But not
Yeah.
just America, because all we gotta just look at the whole world in general, man. I mean, hell, man, it's just everywhere you look. It's just everything is just decaying and getting worse than what it was prior to. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, but you have all of these issues going on, in the climate, right? I'll give an example with this volcano that's erupting even today. Was it the
Hmm.
La Palma volcano? There was an
Yeah.
earthquake over there. Why it's erupting? So it shows you, man, that the words that Christ said, are certainly coming to pass, man. He's told us what, look out, because you're gonna see, earthquakes, where there's gonna be uproars of the people in the world, and these are
Yeah.
all the signs that the Most High is starting to visit the world.
Hmm. Yeah. And when you think about it, like pretty much what can you have? Yeah, basically three
So
options,
it's
right, for a society. What's that? Can you hear me, TT? It's cutting out.
oh, go ahead. It's a little behind on my end.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
basically.
I can hear you. It's just my end is a little bit behind, but I can hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah, so you basically have what, three options for society: a righteous one, a neutral one, or an evil one. You know, that's really all you can do. And so we clearly don't have a righteous one. People could say this is a neutral one, but I think there's too much evidence pointing to the fact that that's not the case. And you could cite a lot of different things: the ball earth, the money system, everything really. And so it basically has to sort of implode, you know? So that's it. And then all those people that don't believe that this is hell, you know, we're not trying to flex on you, but you're going to find out, you know, it's not going to be a heaven until the hell is destroyed.
You
So
know,
that's just what it is.
gonna be able to back, I'll leave a link in the chat for him. Um, but yeah, man, it's just this place is totally done more, man. And that's the focal point of what we're getting into. Welcome back, man. You able to hear
Yeah, I
me?
just wanted to see if this made it a little better. It's good now.
Yeah, yeah, man. As I said, sorry about that. My internet's not good on my side, so I'm not gonna go for too long tonight.
Mhm.
We'll only go for a half an hour. Um, because I was just planning on streaming from YouTube. But anyway,
Mhm.
um, it's as I said, man, it's very clear, what's going on right now, man. So, hey, look, if guys can't see it, then they can't see it, right?
Yeah.
If people can't see it, then they just don't know what the hell's going on. And that's just the
Yeah.
way you gotta view these people, now.
Yeah. I mean it's pretty clear that this narrative has to be the one that the Most High is using to wrap this up. So, because it's already too late. I just literally looked on Google the number of these yabs that have been administered, 7.81 billion. That's pretty fast when you think about it, you know. This thing is like not even done its 2-year anniversary yet. And so it's been released and then this much has happened in that relatively short period of time. So, yeah,
I
man.
mean, damn, man, that's definitely a lot of them, man.
Yeah, that's a
That's
lot.
definitely a lot. I mean, and it
43%
just
of the
shows
world
you,
population.
damn, man. And it's
Yeah.
only gonna get higher, right? It's only gonna get higher, as time goes on, man.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
shows you these people don't think. It's like, wait a second. If they're willing to pay you money to get this juice, it's like, well, wait
Right.
a second. Don't you think there might be an ill intent involved in it? That they're
Right.
gonna be willing to pay you to put this inside of you? I mean, come
Right.
on.
Right. And if it was totally legit, they would just be like, "Okay, this is what's inside of it. This is how it works." You know, and then if something happened, you could sue the companies like any other thing. If something fails, your car fails, you can go and, get it fixed or whatever, and then they have recall notices. They don't have any of that for this. They're just like, you got to take it and then accept whatever happens to you after. So, I mean, this whole narrative is just completely how somebody can see that this is evil. You don't need the Bible to know that this is evil. So this
Right,
is
right,
it. And
definitely.
so I don't know what to say, man. It's crazy, dude. 7.81 billion doses. That's wild, man. That's insane. That's a lot. Like, can you imagine? That's literally almost 8 billion of those things went in people's arms. Like, this doesn't include that it's a multi-dose thing. So fully yabbed, here's the number 3.33. That's your favorite number. Fully yabbed in the world right
Yeah.
now is 3.33. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, most certainly, man. It's just as I said, man, just as time goes on, it's just gonna go more downhill from here. That's just
Right.
the only way to look at it. Everyone's sitting there talking about like these Christians saying, "Oh, look, if you love your neighbor, go ahead and get juiced up." And
Yeah.
see, and then it's like, oh, well, Romans 13, obey the government. So see, trust your government and don't rebel against them telling you to get that juice, right?
Mhm.
You must obey them. That's what these Christians out here telling the people, man. So it's very clear that these churches are just what we would call the congregation of the dead. It's
Right.
just it's very clear at this point.
What's your Papa teaching? Is Papa Tahar teaching anything different now? Is he leaning one way that this is it, or is he still kind of not sure? Because I don't watch
Uh,
him. I'm not subscribed to. I'm literally only subscribed to you and Good Servant. I'm not even kidding, dude. It's mad funny. I don't even know what's going on at GMF.
I mean, the last time I listened, they were saying that it is the chip, but then he'll make statements and say that that who knows they could have certain things inside of this juice, so I would think it's
I see.
wait and see at this point with them as well.
Right. That was bold when he said that a while back, and I mirrored that, man. It actually cost me a strike, but it was worth it when he said, he's like, This could be it, and I was like, what the hell, dude? Like, so shout out to Har. He's probably watching, he probably watches all your videos, takes notes, that kind of thing. But
Right,
yeah,
right. I
it's
mean, it's
wild, man.
just yeah, man, it's just as I said, man, there's too much that's going on in the world right now, man. It's just I mean, hell, I don't know how one can't see. the time that we're living in, man.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
don't know how one can't see it. And then, dealing with these tried and fried guys, it's like, what the hell were they out here prophesying to the people? What the hell
Yeah.
were they out here making prophecies about? I
Yeah.
haven't seen them talk about prophecies. You know what I'm saying? So it just
Yeah.
shows you, man.
Dude, there's not many people doing this anymore, and it's like kind of like the answer is given to us, so that also to me proves that it's true, because that doesn't make sense. You would think that like all the Hebrew camps would be out like 24 hours a day, you know, but it's like all these people are like fundraising and selling mass and like, all whatever the hell they're doing. Like Zabak's trying to build like a community for like $50,000. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about, man? The place is gonna be burned, dude. What are you doing? So that to me, that's a weird form of a proof that 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 it is true, actually, because there's no way, like you're kind of getting at, a person can deny at this point that the Bible is looking very true at this point.
Right, right. And I was talking earlier today about how what gives the scriptures, the authenticity is these other, religious texts. I'll give it an example, right? The Talmud, the Quran, or the the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Hmm.
These books that claim to have a, divine origin. Well, wait, they don't contain prophecies in them. The only book that contains prophecies is the one that we're talking about, right? So that gives this
Yeah.
book, the may I say, the authority over these other ones, because this book makes predictions about the future, and
Yeah.
then we see them happening, unlike these other, so-called, religious texts.
Yeah. Yeah, and just we need really just one verse in the Bible that says that God is the only one and there is no other. And I doubt the God of the Quran takes credit for the deception, and then that's important. That's really important. And so I don't even really know what the Quran I just view the Quran as a joke, like, and I don't care if people are offended by that. It's basically the Bible or nothing at this point. So all those other books, the Gita and all that, they're like coloring books. It's just nonsense. So, and for the reason that ETT is saying, prophecy, man, like that's a bold prophecy that any religious book would make, that there's going to be something called the mark of the beast that affects everybody worldwide. I mean, that's a lot of swag. That's a bold prediction, and we see it coming true right before our eyes. So I don't care what religion that was that made a prediction like that. I'd be interested in it. I'd learn, and see if it happens. So I mean, all roads are pointing to
Yeah,
the Bible being true at this point.
yeah, man. I mean, hell, at this point, man, I mean, you can't deny it, right? You just can't deny it. Oh, we have our buddy Mike in the chat. Mike, click that link. Right, let's see if you learned from our dialogue yesterday, man, because I think we've
Yeah,
proven, that we're
yeah,
definitely not, living in the new covenant today, man. I mean, wait a second. How the hell can you tell me that we're in the new covenant, but yet you're coming on here trying to teach us? Wait a second. Doesn't that defeat the whole cause of the new covenant? Because it
yeah.
says that no man will teach his neighbor to know the Lord. So how the hell could we be living in the new covenant if you're on here trying to teach us? How does that make any
What
sense?
what we can see from a mile away is that people have their opinions, but they just say, "Oh, I think this and I think that," but they don't actually read the verse and like make a narrative out of it, or a testimony, as we like to say. And so
It
that's just
says
what
in
it is.
the says in the it says in the Apocrypha that many have deceived themselves by their own vain faults and opinions. If you can pull
Right.
that verse, that's good. But we got Mike on the show. What's going on, man?
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's up, man?
What you guys got going on this fine Shabbat?
Uh, not much
We're
actually,
just,
man.
you know,
Just chopping
yeah,
it
we're
up,
just
is it?
chatting, man.
You know what, Mike, dude? It's
Yeah,
almost like ETT and I are essentially borderline on an echo chamber. We just talk back and forth about how true the things are that we agree on, and that's what it is, dude. And but it's cool though, because I mean they are true at this point.
The sky is blue. Yes, it is indeed, sir.
Right.
The sky
Exactly.
is blue.
Yeah.
Yes, water is wet. I see how wet the water is.
America is Mystery Babylon, that kind of thing. Let me read this verse and then I'll pass it to anybody. This is a good one. Ecclesiasticus 3:24, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, that's a
But
good
yeah,
one.
yeah, it is.
So, Mike, what did you come on to debate us on this time, man?
Yo, I came on because yo, to be real, I like you gotta understand. I look at other people in life and I see what they is doing, right?
Yeah.
And then I try to correlate why I feel what they is doing is related to what I'm doing, and like how I'm wrong through what I see wrong in them doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, instead of trying to, like, you know what I mean, tell motherfuckers what they're doing wrong, try to see what they is doing wrong that you are also guilty of. I learned that.
Okay. But I
I feel
guess,
like that's important.
but we'll give you a couple minutes. Like, what are you doing? And I'm not trying to be rude, but like, what's your narrative? Like, what's your ministry, so to speak?
So I don't necessarily have a ministry, right, of
Okay.
my own, but what I've been doing, you know what I'm saying, is trying to put out all the truth that I can to uncover all the bullshit that I could find.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that is the work of the Most High. If we just, you know what I'm saying, have that love for the truth, and we associate with people who share that love, and we just consistently try to uncover the nonsense and bring out the most distilled form of the truth, right?
What is the truth? When you say the truth, what is the truth?
The truth is, right, the most the closest to the understanding of reality for what it is.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The truth is the Most High and all that comes from him, right?
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I was just wondering where you would go with that. But okay, so also, then you would also agree that the narratives that are going on, that a truth of those, for example, would be that God is behind them. For example, the evil narrative. You said you're coming along on that thinking now. That's part of your truth.
So, like, to be behind them, I'm kind of undecided on that whole thing of if he's behind them or not. And honestly, to me, it really don't matter. It wouldn't really make a difference. You know what I'm saying? If he was behind them or not.
Why would it not make a difference?
Well, I mean, if he's behind them, right?
That's a big difference.
If he's behind them,
Right.
then they still exist and they still do what they do. It's not going to change what they do. Just change my understanding of
Right,
something.
but let me chime in. Let me chime in. But it is a difference, though. That's like if someone makes a statement and says, "Well, what difference does it make if the Earth is round or flat?" Right? What difference does that make? And the answer is, it makes a big difference. And as far as this context goes, the way this makes a big difference is it shows us that the way that we were taught about the Bible and about the Most High in these theological seminary schools, or I should call them cemetery schools, and in these Christian churches, it shows us that
Well, y'all
those are
like
false, right? That we
verses.
were all raised the wrong
Y'all,
way,
I know y'all
right?
like
So it is
verses, right?
important to
In scripture.
Yeah, just let him finish his point, and then I think it was cutting out, but we got him back.
Oh, I thought he had finished his point.
Yeah, I think it's just cutting out, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
might have actually. Yeah.
Well, real quick, I did finish, but I'll add this thing because you said that we like verses. It's like, well, wait a second though. Don't we understand the scriptures by reading the precepts?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was gonna bring y'all out a verse because y'all like verses.
Let's hear it.
Y'all got
Yep,
I
go
don't
ahead.
I don't got the Bible in front of me.
I can
There's
pull it up.
1 Corinthians 13.
Absolutely. This is actually the very first chapter that I ever read, ever.
It's a pretty fire chapter, ain't it?
It is. It's deep, man.
I've been pondering on this though. You know what I'm saying?
Do you want me to read just from the beginning, or?
Yeah, yo, it's a powerful chapter, bro.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 13, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I have become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. Verse 2, and though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. Verse 3, And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Verse 4, charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. Verse 5, doth not have itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. Verse 6, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. That's a good one. Let me read that again. Rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Verse 7, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Verse 8, charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Verse 12, for now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know, even as also I am known. Verse 13, and now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity. That's deep.
So yo, like, I feel like we could get caught up in the whole like prophesying, having knowledge, the truth, pointing out what's wrong with shit, telling motherfuckers what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we abandon sometimes that love in our heart. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Paul's saying that prophecy is not independent of love. It's still a loving thing to do, because he talks in other writings that you should seek to prophesy because of how powerful it is. But this is powerful too, because all his point here ultimately is that those things will not be necessary. Like we talk about in the new covenant, you're not going to have to go and teach your neighbor about God, because then you don't have to have quote unquote faith, because God will be present. There's no hope anymore. You're experiencing the hope. But charity is a characteristic of God all the time, because God can only give. He's not capable of taking.
But
So
he explains it like I could sit here and speak all day, you know what I mean, in all these different tongues in ways that you would understand it, you know what I mean? But I would become as if, like, you know what I mean, just instruments making noise.
yeah, but all I'm saying is that's why you can't just read this one chapter and say that's all Paul says. There's other places where Paul's talking about prophesying and how important it is to build up people.
I'm not saying that that's all he says. I'm just saying that I've been pondering on this, and I really think that this is a strong, you know what I mean, point that we as people who is in this truth, bringing this stuff out there to people, I feel like we have to keep this in mind in order to actually do justice to the word and do
Agreed.
Justice to the work.
Agreed. 100%.
You know what I mean? Even if we are correct and we win every argument on the internet, you know what I mean, and we pull out every verse and shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. At the end of the day, if we ain't do it out of love for the person that we're teaching or whatever, right? What are we even doing?
Yeah, and that's actually part of our complaint, where the Bible says the souls of the just complain continually. We are supposed to be charitable to help other people in need, but we don't have enough for even ourselves. That's why we're asking for God to end this thing, because we are supposed to be charitable, but a lot of us don't even have enough to sustain our own life. And so that's again why this system is completely evil, because it should have things in place to take care of the lowest. That's in the law. It actually has rules about that. So
I'm just saying, often as a man, you know what I'm saying, I find myself getting even angry, right? When you try to do this work sometimes, because, you know, it can be frustrating when you bring in people the truth, right? Or what you believe is the truth, and they just ain't hearing it. And there's different things, you know, when you start walking in the truth, you become tested extra. I don't know if you guys have experienced the extra tests, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's kind of all, you know, all where it come from. You know what I'm saying? These is all challenges. Even the most wise and the people who know the truth have to be tested and challenged. So even though they know, there has to be another test and another challenge for them, if just knowing the truth is not that challenge anymore.
Yeah, we agree with that. But if your point is that what we're doing here is not loving or charitable, it's just simply debating, I would refute that. I don't, if that's the angle you're coming, then
well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that as people that bring out the truth, that's a point that I wanted to bring here and put out to the people, whether we could apply it to ourselves or not. This is something I've discovered in myself, right? By analyzing the way that I feel about situations and what other people do. Whether or not that's what you guys do, that's not my claim. You know what I'm saying? That's just my analysis. And that's my analysis on other people while analyzing myself and discovering truth. So I just bring that truth out. You know what I mean? I ain't condemning no man. Feel me?
No, and if you were, that's fine. Go ahead.
No, I never said that. Now, yesterday, you might have caught me and I might have said something like that, right? You feel me?
No. Well, I mean, no, I was just if that's your opinion, I would just respond to it and we address it diplomatically. But it's sort of a fair point because we do come on these a lot of times on these to go into like verses and then obviously Revelation and stuff. But the day-to-day aspects of living and being charitable and all that kind of stuff, it's important, no doubt. And I actually used to do that prior to this whole narrative coming out. I would do more like inspirational sort of streams, but now prophecy is pretty much taken over because it's like the elephant in the room. But I agree, these things still need to be taught because they're all one and the same ultimately. Faith, hope, and
Right.
charity. Yeah.
I feel like once we establish certain works, then there is, like you said, the elephant in the room, and then there becomes, new works to be done in the establishment of that kingdom, don't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Like as the kingdom is established, as time unfolds, right? More work is there to be done. And so we can't get hung up on the original work and not continue, right? Building that kingdom.
Well, what's the new work? What's the new work that has to be done?
Well, I mean, there's all different kinds of works that happen. You know what I'm saying?
Give us like a couple examples. Like what would you recommend ETT and I do that maybe if you don't or you think that we may be doing it just to remind us that we should be doing?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say what you should do or what you shouldn't do. I'm not the most high, right? But like as far as putting out truth, right? People who put out the truth, right, have then a following of people who then believe what they put out. So then you have to, nurture that. If that's the goal is to enlighten, man and help man build in the truth and in the way.
Mm-hmm.
We got to nurture what we do got, or they may be led astray anyway into, darkness.
But here's the truth. Here's a truth, though, that we teach regularly, that we're in hell. And the reason this is hell is because everything in this earth is against God's laws. So when we try and exercise faith, hope, or charity, people come after us. And so that's why first of all, we have no money.
Wait, let me chime in.
Go ahead. Yep.
Let me chime in real quick. I wanted to ask Mike this question, because I'm not sure what his viewpoint is on this. But Mike, what is your view as far as when the Bible speaks about hell? Well, what is your understanding on that?
It's the lake of the eternal fire. You know what I mean?
Where is that?
Where is it? I'm not sure.
Mighty God, go ahead. Mighty God, go ahead and get Revelation chapter 20 and verse 14.
Yeah.
Is this gonna tell me
But
like
these are
the lake
things that we
of
gotta read.
fire has a location?
No. The reason I'm bringing this up. No. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I asked you what hell is in the Bible. At your understanding, you said the lake of fire. But I'm gonna show you something real quick.
No, you
the
asked
lake
me
of fire
what.
is not
You
hell.
asked me what hell is. I said the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, good. We'll roll with that. But take a look at this verse real quick. What would you understand this to be? Mighty God, you got that?
Did you mean Revelation 20 verse 10? Cast into the lake of fire, that verse, or did you actually mean 20 verse 4?
It should be.
The one that says devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire?
I think I said 14, the verse that says hell because.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, it
Revelation
says
20 verse
death
14.
and hell were cast into the lake of fire.
Right. Yeah, Revelation 20 verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Right, so how is hell? Right, but how can hell be cast into the lake of fire if the lake of fire is hell itself?
I mean, that's where like it is, right? If it's getting cast into the lake of fire.
But that tells us where it is.
All right, so hell is essentially a dimension of like wickedness, and it is cast into the lake of fire.
So you don't believe that's literal fire?
Where's that at in the
essentially.
Bible?
Let me give you one more. Matthew 10:28, and fear not them which kill the body, but are able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Mm.
So hell has to be a place that's physical, or else you could not destroy a body there, because there's no body. No body goes to the spirit world.
I'm not an expert on hell. I didn't really, you know what I mean? I ain't studied it like that. You feel me?
Well, the only reason we say that,
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
is that form of
kind of like my understanding of hell, right, is just eternal suffering, right? Eternal suffering without death. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not
my
what the Bible
idea of hell.
Well, we'd have to disagree on
Well,
that.
like, let me elaborate though.
Because the Bible says that hell is the earth.
My idea of hell
Go ahead.
is being in existence with the absence of the grace of the Almighty. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an existence absent of Him.
Well, that's this earth right now. You've described it perfectly.
But it's not, because
Yes, it
He
is.
resides inside me. Like,
How
I
do
told
you know that?
Because He inside me.
You know you're on God's right hand side.
How do you know that you are a human being?
I'm just saying that God's spirit does indeed dwell amongst his elect. We know that.
I ain't sitting here making claims that I am this, I am that. I ain't gonna sit here and say I am good, right? We know only the Father is good. But what I'm telling you is that the Father dwell inside me.
Yeah, the Father dwells inside everybody, even the evil.
All right, so how you gonna say he ain't here?
Well,
he right here.
That doesn't mean that it's a good thing. If
he's here score, you feel like he here 3 times 3.
No, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just because God's spirit
let's
dwells
just
in
get
every
to the
man.
money. Let's just get to the money real quick.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me chime in. Let's just get to the money. Where in the Bible does it say that that hell is a spiritual dimension? Because we read the Bible and we don't see that in there. That's why I asked the brother. Because from our understanding,
it don't.
When the Bible mentions
that's just my
hell,
understanding of it.
Earth itself.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. He just said it's his own understanding.
It don't say that.
Okay, good.
And I ain't saying it does.
That's
I might even be wrong on it, but I'm just saying my own understanding is it's the existence outside of the grace of the Almighty, a place of eternal suffering.
Okay. Well, I give you points for being honest, because a lot of people will say, no, it's in there, and then we ask them where, and then they won't know.
Well,
so fair enough.
I'm not here to lie. You feel me?
No, we're not saying you are. I'm just saying that other people, not you, have actually said, Good Serpent is one example. They'll just say whatever, like they don't want to look into it, and then they'll like slander us actually for teaching that. But that's exactly what the Bible says. So what hell is?
What is it? What does it say exactly? What hell is?
If you read all 54 references to hell in the King James Bible,
right,
every single one refers to a physical place, and it always refers to suffering.
Okay, a physical place of suffering. So,
yep, and judgment.
What is earth referred to as in the Bible?
Hell. That's why we read.
Earth is hell, and hell is earth.
Yes, and it's going to be cast into a lake of fire. So this earth is going to be set on fire. That's why we read Revelation 20:14. When it says death and hell are going to be cast in a lake of fire, death is the body or the people, because God describes the people here on earth in a dead state, and death and hell is the earth. So God, that's the hell is here, according to the entire Bible, the volume of the book.
You know, I would agree with you, except for the fact that I don't feel as much suffering as I believe is potential. I believe there is a greater potential for suffering than the majority of people feel daily, and I do believe hell is a place of eternal damnation. So I don't feel like we're burning. I kind of feel like we're in between a place of burning and a place of great glory. And that's why I believe this is earth. Hell is separate. You know what I mean? Shamayim is separate. You know what I'm saying?
But where
I do believe there's multiple levels also. Don't get me wrong, brother. I do believe the Almighty explained multiple levels of shit. You know what I mean?
But to use your point about God is dwelling in us and all that, okay, we've established that, Every spirit inside every body is from the Most High, no doubt. However, that does not change the fact that when God comes here, whether through his son or in the last days, the earth fights against it and wants to kill that God. So that by definition means that hell has to be here.
I
Because
mean, are you
no,
saying you were
let me
gonna
finish
fight
my
the
point.
Most High?
Let me finish my point. There's no other realm that the Most High goes in where, at least that we know of, where he'll be killed when he goes there and visits that place. And
You
so
think they're gonna kill the Most High?
I'll read it. They are, yeah, they're going to kill his son, who is representing the Most High.
They already have killed his son.
Absolutely, and they're going to try and do it again, according to
They're
this.
gonna try, but he already been killed. That would be stupid, wouldn't
No,
it?
but they're gonna try again. This is a prophetic verse I'm about
But
to read.
he died
1 second.
already.
Yeah, they're
You
going to try
can't
and do it
kill what
again.
has died. Death has no reign
No, when
over
he
him.
returns in glory, they're going to try and kill him again.
But death has no reign over him.
I know, but I'm just telling you, they're going to try. That's how arrogant they are.
I mean, it's
Whoa,
like
whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold on a second. Right,
Okay.
right. We're not saying. Okay, Mike, hold on, brother. We're not saying that they are going to kill him, but it does say they're going to
Right.
try to fight
oh, of
against him.
course.
Right. So we're not
Right.
saying they are going to
Exactly.
kill the Messiah. We're not saying that, but we're just saying that they're going to try to do so.
Of course they
Right.
are,
And
because
and
they have
that goes
nothing
into the
left
whole
to do.
UFOs, because when they see these UFOs,
They
they're
know they're damned. You know what I mean?
No, it's
I'll
just
throw it
that
to Mike.
this place is hell. That's why they're doing it, because hell is a place wherever God visits, then he's told to get lost. Okay, Second Ezra 13:34, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. And so
I just don't believe that.
let me read a bit more. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, verse 36, and Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. That's Christ returning with his elect. Listen to this, verse 37. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. All the inventions, these missiles. Why would you need a missile to? Why would you need to develop all these missiles when all the governments are a one world order? They're going to use those missiles against God. So that's
They
why we're in hell. Go
they're
ahead.
not a one world order though, bro.
Yeah, they are. They've been from the beginning, man. Because of
Well,
they know,
let me
everybody
chime in
knows
on
the earth is
that. Let
flat.
me chime in on that because okay, but real quick, um, the prophecy says that they're going to turn against each other, though, right? So something's going to happen where the kings of the earth, right, the nations of the world, are all going to turn against each other, primarily on America, because that
Yep.
Lord's going to put it into the mind to do so, right? So there is certainly, like, I'll give an example. Christ speaks about that nations are going to fight against nations in the last times, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we can understand that there's definitely something to that, right? There's not just everything's fake on the news like Russian vids would believe. No, there's real wars that are going to happen, right? There's real wars going on right now. And that's even, as I said, that's in the prophecies, because it's Christ told us one sign to look out for is nations are going to rise against nations and go to war with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, that's in the prophecies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily agree that, they're all, you know, one on one. I agree that they're trying to, do their one world government. I agree on that. But there's certainly prophecies that speak about nations coming up against other nations. That's clearly in the Bible. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily totally agree on
No, you're right. You're right. I don't want to say that all of that stuff is fake. It's not, but it's judgments. That's the way I would word it. It's not what I'm trying to say. It's not like real beef in the sense that if it were real beef, then they would exercise those things in different ways. They would expose America for all the different things. Iran would then go on the news and say, oh, why are all these people doing all this stuff? America's doing all this. They would tell us. Then they would tell us the Earth is flat. Okay, they would be like NASA's lying, but they're all in on it. Okay, they all know that all that stuff is fake, like the space stuff. So that's the extent to which they're all in on it. But yes, ETT's right in the sense that if
that. Well,
God
I
wants
mean, to
Israel
be fair though,
Israel to
to
Palestine, that's a judgment because he wants certain people killed. Okay, so yeah, in a sense that the wars are scripted
I
in
will
that
be
regard.
fair and
But
say
they're all
this.
judgment. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'll say this though. To be fair, most nations in the world don't have the ability to know what the real shape of the Earth is because they don't have a space program in their country because the country's too poor. It's really only the main top guys that have that capability of finding out that information So as I said, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that totally, because there's certainly parts in the scriptures that speak about nations coming against nations. So I don't believe that that's all fake, right? I wouldn't agree on that. I definitely believe there is real stuff going on in the world, and it's just that would be my viewpoint on it. But it's very clear in the Bible that it speaks about nations coming up against other nations, especially the times that we're in right now. So I don't believe that's all fake. I definitely don't believe that. But I understand, certain points that guys come with. Like, I'll give an example. Some of these kings of the nations, like the whole thing, Israel will come against America sometimes and talk smack about it. So will North Korea, Russia will do it too, right? So they're all coming against each other in that manner. Another thing as well, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is a assembly of nations, they're starting to hate America. They're starting to come up against America. In fact, a few years back, what was it? Britain, they were part of the Union, but then they broke off from it, right? So they left the Union, right? So that's shows us that these nations are starting to turn against America, just as it says in the prophecies. I'll throw it back to Mike.
Yeah, I mean, uh, yeah, I don't think it really. I somewhat agree. I would say again, I'm not saying they're fake in the sense that they're not actually beefing. It's just we know that all these kings, God's controlling them, and so if there is a something shot from one end or a drone shot from one end or whatever, that's a judgment. God wants certain people killed, and so that's just what it
Right.
is. And so you could call it a war, which is fine. You can, because there are wars. So I'm not taking away from wars and rumors of war, and then they're going to then, because the Bible even says literally when Christ returns, like they're going to stop that fighting and then redirect that effort towards God.
So
So
yo,
yeah,
where
Right.
do you guys put the in the Revelation uh the current, you know what I'm saying, medical experiment that's
we
going
call it the
on?
yab. We call it the yab or the yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The stick and poke, bro.
Juice.
Yeah, I call it the mark. I think ETT is waiting on some things, but I
You know what I'm
I
saying?
call it
The
fulfillment.
sauce, bro. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I call it fulfillment of Revelation 13. Exactly.
You believe it's the vials?
It's the actual mark, the charagma.
You think it's is the mark?
It is the mark.
Okay, well, how is it preventing people from buying and selling currently?
It's pretty darn close, actually. I mean, certain LA, you cannot go into a place. New York, a lot
But
of
it's
the
not.
hospitals are forcing you to take it, or else they'll fire you. So that's the causeth all. It's
Yeah, but
happening
I'm saying
everywhere.
it doesn't fit all the criteria yet.
Which one does it not fit?
The fact that you can still buy and sell without it.
It's not going to actually go out to all. Just
What?
so you know, it's not,
What do you
according to
mean?
Revelation 16. So it's not going. All is not literal, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
And so it's not. And then we know that because of the Bible, not my opinion.
Well,
So
we know that because of those sealed with the other mark.
which mark?
You're only going to get sealed with one of two marks, right? You're going to be sealed with the mark of the beast, or you're going to be sealed with the name of the Father and the Son on your forehead.
I'm not sure where you're going with that.
You can only be sealed one or two ways. Can't be sealed both ways. You can't be sealed by the mark of the beast
Okay.
and by the Father. You can't be
Well, the
sealed.
mark of the beast, there's no concept of being sealed with the
Right.
mark
No
of the
one.
beast.
No
What
one
verse
said
are you
you.
getting
No
with
one
that?
said you could be. Wait, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You can't be sealed in the name of the Father and the Son. What does it mean
Yeah,
when
we
it
agree
says
with that. Sorry, we
those
agree
will
with that.
be marked in their right arm or in their forehead, right?
Right.
And then when it speaks about the seal, it says they're going to be sealed on their forehead. You understand?
Yeah.
This is the same thing. This is a seal. The mark is a seal. It's a seal to the
Well,
fucking.
you're just making that up because that's not in the Bible. But if you want to
Well,
believe that, that's fine.
what is this? But let's break it down. Let's break it down with our brain that the Father gave us and logic.
Okay.
What is the seal of the Father
In
in the
Revelation
forehead?
7? In Revelation 7?
When it says that you be sealed in the forehead in the name of by the name of the Father and the Son. What is that speaking of to
Well,
you?
I don't even know what verse you're talking about. So that's the thing. You're just saying stuff like what verse?
Well, I mean, you're really good at finding verses that you guys know about. Can you help me out and Google this for me, bro?
Okay, well, no, I wasn't trying to be rude, but if you want me to look it up, then it is Revelation 7.
Listen, man, I'm just trying to build. I'm building with you here.
All right, let me read it just for the audience sake. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Then it goes and numbers the 144,000.
So you see that the Father has the Malachim sealing his servants in their foreheads, right? And you also at the same very time. Listen, bro, I'm just saying what it says. And then at the same time, you have the beast sealing those with the mark in their right arm or in their forehead.
But that part you're making up. Like, and that's fine if you want to use
I'm not making that up. Look up the mark. It says it. Says it about the mark.
Sealed. It doesn't say sealed in Revelation 13. But
we'll
if you want to use that language,
say what it says.
But if you want to use that language, I have no issues with
I
that.
mean, what is sealed?
Well, I guess if you want to call it that, I personally don't.
Explain to me your knowledge of what sealed means
in Revelation 7.
When something is to be sealed.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have to chime in real quick. And someone's playing. Oh, it's better now. But there is no verse in the Bible that mentions people being sealed with the mark. For future reference, refer to it as the mark, because you have to watch the words you use on here. But there are no verses in the Bible that speak about those being sealed with the mark. As far as the mark of the Most High, that's a spiritual mark. That's not literal. All right, so I would have to see the verse that speaks about people being sealed with the with the mark. Okay, not the mark of the Most High, but the other one. I would have to see it first.
So if somebody took you, right, and stuck the mark on you, right, you're saying that you would now be bearing the mark, or you think you would still be sealed with the Most High on you?
You'd have the mark.
I don't believe that. I believe if someone came and stuck you with the mark, you wouldn't have the mark.
No, because God did that. So you do have the mark then.
I don't agree with that.
Well, then that's
your. I mean, if someone came and mark you against your will, right, and you're willing to die for not getting the mark, but they I'm
just saying it's not. It's that then God did that. Okay, and so then you do have it.
But you look at this. You just looking at this on the physical. You don't understand that the Almighty is deeper than the physical. He only care about the spiritual mark.
No, we care about the fact that God's behind every action on this earth.
But y'all is ignoring a lot of things.
But now
I agree with children of the light. You know what I mean? Y'all push some myths and conspiracies a little bit.
But now we see what maybe your agenda is.
Are we teaching?
I agree with this man. You know what I mean? No disrespect.
Wait,
are you coming here recommending people take this yab or not? What's your
position? I'm not recommending you do, but what I'm saying is if someone ran up on you and did something to you, right? The Almighty is more potent than the physical world. You gotta understand he controls all of it, right?
Like let me give you a real life example. Let's say you work in a hospital and you're forced to do this, which many hospitals are doing that. What advice do you give that brother or sister?
Look, I'm saying the Messiah cured a blind. You don't think that the Most High can take away things from you that he didn't intend for you to have upon you?
No, I asked you a clear question. What advice do you give that brother or sister? Because you're all about.
I asked you a handful of clear questions that you ain't answered yet, bro.
What's he gonna do when they come and stick him with a needle?
I mean, what are you gonna do if they hold you down and stick you with a needle?
They won't.
You're gonna think that you won't make it into the kingdom?
They won't do that.
What if they do?
They because God will not allow that for his right hand. If I'm on God's right hand side, that won't happen. If I'm not,
you know that he let them kill his son. He let them kill the apostle.
God's right hand side. He's being
you know what I'm saying? He let them do these things.
True.
Hey,
yeah,
real quick,
you're being a little too cocky. Pops is right.
Someone got some echo in the background. You're gonna have to.
No, that was Pops talking in the back. He said you a little too cocky. I agree with him.
We care about what the Bible says.
Hold on a second. Okay, Mike, hold on. You're going to have to mute something, brother, because I hear a lot of feedback coming through. So you're going to have to address that. I don't know if you have YouTube open in the background or what you're doing, but you're going to have to clear that up real quick, man.
What kind of feedback?
All right, but wait a second. I have to address this real quick. I hear my voice coming through your end. right? It's like giving the sound of the stream back for yours. For
Yeah,
some
that
reason.
ain't me.
But I had to bring this up. Okay. My God, you got YouTube open in the background?
No, I muted everything. I can jump out and come back in if you want, or Mike, can we both do that? Or
The thing might be
No,
bugged.
it's all right. It's all right. We'll go with it then. I don't know what the issue is, but wait a second. I wanted to bring this up.
Okay.
What are we pushing that we're pushing myths? What type of myth are we teaching? It's just what I wanted to know. Let me just read this comment real quick. This brother said, "No disrespect,
who's-
brothers, but I'm very civil. You guys push much myths and conspiracy theories that put
Well, what
people
I'm
away
saying
from
is that you're
Yahweh,
saying this
bring
is
people
the
into
mark,
There's
but
no
it
proof
it
now.
doesn't fit all the criteria of the mark. So y'all shouldn't be pushing. You know what I mean?
what
Something
criteria
that you
does it not
can't
fill?
prove.
What are you talking about, man?
Like it's not preventing anyone from buying and
I
selling.
just proved it to you that it does in the whole freaking city of Los Angeles, man.
But that doesn't apply
according to
to the
you,
world.
according to your stupid definition of what it means, that's your definition. People are
Why are you
losing
so
their job.
Okay,
People are
well,
losing their job or have
are you
to do
angry?
it
Patent number
because
6,
of this.
And
How-
and I don't see
what
what's
freaking world
stupid
do you
about
live
my.
in?
You know?
What world do you live in when hospitals are forcing people to take it or you lose your job? What the hell are you going to recommend to them?
I'm not
okay.
saying that they ain't
Wait a
forcing
second.
people to get it, but it's
So
not
what do you
making
tell somebody
people,
who's being forced to do it at a hospital? I ask you a simple
it's
question.
not preventing buying and selling.
Okay,
That's the whole. You
okay.
can't
Hold
buy
on a
and sell if
second.
you don't have a job.
I have to cut him off. Hold on a second. I have to cut the brother off for a second because you made a statement that said that I'm teaching that the mark's the juice. First of all, I never said that, right? Just to correct you on that. And then I wanted to address this because I would agree with the mind of God that if this thing is the mark, well, it's going to be a process of time, right? Next year, it might be where you can't go into a store to buy or sell without
Right.
having, proof that you took this juice. So it's a process of time. Okay, so I would understand it that way too, that of course it's not going to happen overnight. This is a process of time. Even with the chip, okay, that happens over time. Okay, that it's not just going to be the first day it comes out. It's like, no, happens over a period of time. First, like you saw with Switzerland a few years back, people were using that to
Sweden.
get candy bars out of a snack machine at work, or wherever it was.
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
eventually you can progress to more, right? So same thing with this thing. It's not going to be overnight, but eventually given the process of time, it can turn into that. All right.
Right.
So
It causes
I'll let the
all. It's a
brother back
process.
on, but I just want him to answer. I want him to answer for me. What myths are we teaching exactly? And then that goes for this brother, Children of Light, in the comments too.
Is Children of Light your dad or is that somebody else?
So what's the mark, right?
It's the actual yap.
So that's the myth you teaching.
He believes that I would.
All right, I didn't say
That
both
doesn't
of
mean
you
I'm
teaching
teaching
it.
that.
I'm talking
Okay.
I'm talking to the man who believes it.
So what your position on it is? It's something in the future, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're wrong on that, do you know there's a penalty for that?
My position is that what you're currently stating is the mark doesn't fit the criteria of the mark.
That's
so
fine.
it has to be something
I'm just
else.
telling you, if it is what I stated, and you stated something in the future, do you understand there's a penalty for that?
And do you understand there's a penalty if you state that it is and
Yes.
it ain't?
Yeah, it is. I agree. Let me read those penalties.
Okay, well,
so we're both
let's
pressed.
cut the semantics. Hold on, let's cut the semantics. So, Mike, what is the mark from your understanding?
Right.
I don't claim to know, but I do claim that the yab doesn't
So
fit
wait, so
the criteria for the mark.
You just know
wait
what
a
it's
second.
not. Really? That
Wait a
sounds
second.
legit.
Wait a second. Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. And again, I'm not totally agreeing with Mind of God, but I just had to ask this though. Wait a second. So you're telling Mind of God he's wrong with his understanding, but you admitted that you don't even know what it is yourself. What type of logic does that make? How can you tell someone they're wrong on something
Yo,
if
I'm
you
gonna be real
yourself
with
don't
you,
even
bro.
have a logical
I'm gonna
answer?
be real with you. If you mute me again, I'm gonna have to let you remain ignorant. You feel me? It's gonna be like that. All right.
Well,
Don't talk over
Because
to be
him.
fair, brother, I have to put
that's
you
not
on
how
mute
the Most
because every
High
time we
operate,
talk,
right? We don't mute people.
Yeah, we do. We mute people all the time.
We don't do that. You
Yeah,
might
we
do that. You know what I'm saying?
We're
But
trying
when
to
you
see
start
what
muting people, you're trying to silence
as I
people,
said,
right?
we're trying to
What?
test your spirit, man. We're trying to know
You're trying
what
to
are you all
test
about.
my
well, to
spirit
be
by
fair,
Yeah, we're
muting
Mike,
me?
trying to know
you don't.
what are
Well,
you
hold on
all
a
about.
second.
You the guys that is angry, right? In your
Yeah.
heart.
Yes,
I can't
I
cure
am.
that.
I am angry.
I might be able to cure
That's the
some of
semantics,
your
man. Hey, look.
hypocrisy though. You know what I mean? And some of your you know what I mean? What do they call it? Hubris.
So what
You know what
hypocrisy
I'm saying?
are you refuting? What hypocrisy are you refuting exactly? Because every doctrine you brought up,
Oh
you
no,
got
not
cut
at
to
all.
shreds on, brother. Just to
Not
be
at all.
honest with you. No, we totally cut you
What
guys up.
doctrine have you appeared in your
Okay,
own
what
ego
topic
to
did
cut
we
me
not
to shreds
address?
to? You gotta
Ecclesiastes
understand.
7:7. Surely oppression make a wise man mad.
You
We're
only
supposed to be
cut
mad.
doctrine to shreds in your own ego, my brother. You feel me?
Well, you're using words that
Congratulations.
we don't even care
Well,
what
when you
you're talking
guys,
about.
Do you have a little scoreboard in your house? Show your mom how many doctrines you cut to shreds daily?
No, but we think that God cares about that.
well, I mean, look, listen here, man. Listen here, real quick. Mike, usually you never come with any Bible verses to back up your statements, right? So you saw how we got you on the good and evil. You saw how we got you on the new covenant,
No, you didn't.
on the whole point.
You didn't get
Okay, so I
me.
mean, at this
You
point,
didn't get me. You put me onto something in which I did research. I don't completely agree with you guys on almost anything, but I have thanked you for putting me onto some truths that I've found through research. You get what I'm saying?
So let's go through the mark thing. What's missing according to Revelation 13, 16, and 17?
It does
What's
not
missing
prevent
according?
people from buying and selling.
Okay, do
Doesn't
you
fit the
understand are you expecting it to happen in one day where
Read the
everybody is
criteria
just
of the
forced?
mark. Read the full criteria. Let's evaluate it as people. Let's look at it from an open mind, as if we don't know about it. Right? That's how I like to take things.
Sure.
Let's look at it like that, and let's
Sure.
read what it says about the mark, and let's see if it really does fit.
Okay. Do you accept first and foremost that the people who take it in Revelation 16 get sores and then are destroyed? I can read those verses. Do you accept that sequence of punishment? We can debate what it is, but are you aware? And I'm not trying to be rude, but are you aware of Revelation 16 and then Revelation 14?
I'm just saying, let's look at the description of the mark and let's see what it fits. I
But it's
don't care
important to
about
know.
precepts
No, it's
right now.
important to know
We're gonna look
16
at
and
it.
14. It's not. You can't just look at this. Like you have. It's referenced.
So let's go through let's go through all of it so that
Okay.
I understand your
Sounds good.
understanding of
Okay,
these
good.
verses and why
Yeah.
you believe what you believe.
Okay, sounds good. So let's go through them in sequence. So the Bible.
Better to go through all of it, right?
Exactly. So Revelation 13, 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Or is an important word there. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for there is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Revelation 16:2 is what comes after that, because it talks about the mark of the beast. And he went, and the first went out and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Okay, and then here's the punishment for doing that. And so this is in Revelation 14. So you can already see here that the Bible is not in sequence. The book of Revelation. Revelation 14. 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So God will be here to do that. So that's the order. 13, 16 happens, and then 14. So those are the verses I wanted to read. Okay, so now let's start with what you're
So
understanding.
that's what happens after they get the mark to get destroyed. I accept this as the truth. Okay. Now, what does it say about the mark? How does it describe it?
Let's get to the money. Okay, causeth all, first thing. Okay, so causeth is important because it's a process. Do you accept that, or do you have your own interpretation?
Causeth, I don't believe that we're gonna start drawing a timeline out of a word. So let's not get crazy and let's just say he causeth, right? Let's continue.
Okay, but that's important because you're saying
now. Are you assuming a timeline from a word?
No, I'm just saying that you were saying that it's not happening everywhere.
So causeth is that it happens. And I think when the Almighty, it's like when he say, let there be light, it happened instantly.
Fair enough. But are you
So he
Again,
caused it.
I'm just wondering if this is our hang up, just purely this causeth all. Like
Causes, right?
whatever
don't-
your understanding of the mark
I
of the
don't
beast
actually care how we're going to interpret it. If you want to interpret it instantly, or if you want to interpret it that he causes it to happen over time, right?
Okay.
That doesn't matter. He caused it. It happens.
But your argument is that it's not everywhere in the U.S., so it can't be it now.
No,
So
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not preventing people from buying and selling.
Yes, it literally is. I don't know if you're
globally.
familiar with what's going on in different
Like
cities.
almost globally,
Mhm.
it is not preventing buying.
Agreed.
And
Not
selling.
globally. Agreed. Not globally yet.
Right.
But
So we cannot by that assume what it is.
But I'm just letting you know, because we got to keep our eyes to what's going on in the world.
I
There
feel
are
you.
certain places that you cannot buy and sell without
I
it.
feel you, but you're standing on that. This is the mark. Let's continue and see what it is.
Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
Mhm.
So it's really referring to pretty much everybody.
Right.
To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And that no man might buy or sell save he, which is except he had the mark, okay, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Right.
What does
So
that mean?
what is that?
It's
What does
not
that
simply people who've just taken it. There's the rest of God's left-hand side. People
what
like
is
elite. Just use an example would be people like the elite, the Rothschilds. They're not taking the mark. They're not stupid. The physical mark.
Mhm.
They have a mark in their mind.
All right. So if you haven't received the mark,
Yep.
right? And it is being forced upon people, then you are saying you are the left-hand side.
Say that once more.
Then you must have to be the left-hand side if you ain't received the mark, right?
If you don't receive the mark, you have a chance of being on God's right-hand side.
Well, if you haven't received the mark, right?
Yep.
And you're still able to buy and sell, then you must, and you're going to stand on the fact that it is the mark and it's preventing buying and selling, then you have to be on the left-hand side. Or if you were on the right-hand side, you would have to be put to death.
Yes, that's going to happen.
Well, it didn't happen. So
we're waiting for it, but
why are you assuming?
Well, that's where you have to understand Revelation 16.
See, like if this thing did evolve into what the scripture does say, I would say, all right, that is the mark. But I can't say that is the mark until that is the mark.
Yeah, and the only way that's going to prove it is Revelation 16. Let's just say hypothetically right now, we just said earlier, 7 billion or so of these have been administered, 43% of the Earth's population. If they all got sores on their body, who do you think they're going to be pissed off at? The people who didn't take it, right? So they are going to be persecuted.
I think if they get sores on their body, that would be bioweapon.
No. This is the wrath of God. This is being administered by angels, and the first one out. These are angels. You got to get into the Bible, man.
It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a divine heavenly being administering it. It could be necessarily any messenger.
No, these are going to be, and if you not just that one, if you read the rest of them,
what is the word angel in its root? Is malak. What does the word malak mean?
Let's look it up. I doubt that that's true, but let's see. We'll see how sharp you are. You think angel in Revelation 16:1 is malak?
No, I'm saying the root origin of the word angel is malak. So can we not assume everywhere the word angel appears that means malak?
No, if that's the case, let's see it.
Why not?
Because I don't think that's the root word, man. We got you on Baal last time, dude.
You didn't.
I can't give you. I can't give you a pass.
No, sir. Sir, if you believe you did, you must go and look back into the Hebrew word.
Angelos is what's used in the Hebrew.
Because you got to realize, if you really believe that you got me, then he shouldn't even be praising Yahweh. Because then you got him too.
Who are you talking about?
ETT. If you think you got me on Baal, then he doesn't even know why he praises Yahweh.
What's wrong with Yahweh?
Well, it's basically the same argument that you're saying. Why is Lord okay? If you saying that Lord is okay and it's not Baal, right? Then why does he even worship Yahweh? Why doesn't he just worship Lord?
I'm confused, man. I'm lost.
Okay, hold on.
You know what I mean?
Okay, hold on a second.
No.
Okay, hold on a second. Because let's wrap this topic up. Let's wrap this topic up in the next couple of minutes, because I wasn't planning on going too long tonight. Yeah, we can bring something else up, but let's wrap this subject up within the next couple of minutes.
Yeah. So okay, so we're at the
For the
at the
record, I'll chime in. And
Mhm.
All I'm saying is y'all make some bold ass claims, yo.
go ahead.
It's
You know
not
what
a
I mean?
bold claim, man. It's like it's very clearly what's going
What
on.
bold
So
claims we made?
This
yeah,
man
it's
saying
like,
that the mark is the jab. You can't be saying that.
lots of people are saying it.
I'm saying you
There's
can say it could be, but you
let me
can't
let
say it is.
no, we have to say what it is or it's
You
not. It's
can't say it
obvious,
is,
dude.
bruh. You
It's
can't
cause
say
it's
it is.
all. It's worldwide. It's not going to be a mystery. It's got to puncture the skin according to Mark, which is charagma. So there's not really that many options. Either it's this or it's the chip or something like that,
Yeah.
or a tattoo.
Well, how are you gonna say either it is or it's the chip if you just said it is?
Yeah,
You're just
your position is
contradicting yourself.
you say that. I say that it's
Nah,
this. It
you're
has to be.
you're bugging, son.
No, you don't even have it. You don't even have a opinion on what it is.
I'm done with mans who contradict themselves like that, bro.
That's horrible. That's a horrible way to exit, dude. I was stating that there's ultimately
All right,
two
well,
options on the table.
Let's wrap
let's
this up.
wrap this up.
So is your position, and are you aware of the fact that if you state
Yeah,
that
so
it's not
whatever
this,
way you cut the cake.
My position is you said the jab is the mark, and then you said it might not be. It might be the chip. That's my
no, I'm
position.
saying those are the two options on the table. My position is it's the yab, and then your position, it's I don't know what your position
My
is.
position is we don't know yet because it doesn't fit the whole description.
Yeah, I'd say
Yes.
it's the chip.
That's the most
What's missing?
safest stance you could take.
What's missing?
What's missing? The whole fact that it's not preventing buying and selling.
Where?
They're not killing anyone for not taking it yet,
Okay. Where does it say in Revelation 13 that that's going to happen?
bro.
You're just making stuff up, man.
Bruh.
Do you not want it to be, or do you not?
what if they
think
do
that
it in the
is?
near
It doesn't fit the descriptions of the mark, bro. It doesn't prevent the buying and selling.
We just gave you examples how entire cities it does.
But yo, you could say that the Sunday beer law is the mark. And by not being able to buy beer on Sunday, you've been marked because it prevents buying and selling on Sunday.
What are you
Like that's
talking
the same argument you're gonna make, but it doesn't
No, it's
penetrate
not.
skin. So we
No,
say, oh,
that's-
it doesn't fit every criteria, and therefore we can't say it's the damn mark.
Yeah, but this thing literally follows everything in 16 and 17. So I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
There's no exception.
All
If
right,
there
bro.
was, then I agree. I wouldn't teach it. But if, for example, let's say this didn't penetrate the skin, then I wouldn't say that it's a candidate because it's not the mark, because we know that that has to interact with the skin. And so I don't know why you brought up that beer law thing. What was
All right,
that?
bro. If you stick your thumb up your butt, it penetrates the skin. It don't mean it's the mark. Relax.
That's your intellectual understanding on the mark, then?
Yeah.
All right,
It's just
well,
you don't know. You just know what it's not.
I'm not saying that it's definitely not. What I'm saying is that until it fits all the criteria, I'm not going to sit here and teach that this is the mark because that could be misleading. Now, at the same time, I'm not going to teach anyone to get this shit. This
Are you
is
sure?
terrible.
Are you sure?
I'm
Are you
sure
going to
it's
recommend it, or are you going to say your life and
No.
your soul depends on it?
No.
How much further are you going to
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't tell someone, oh, if you got the jab, you have no soul anymore.
Well,
but
but I want you to know that if it is, then you're risking giving them advice that could cost them that.
I'm
understand what
saying
you're
I
doing.
wouldn't go out and tell them that. I wouldn't tell them that they have a soul or don't. That's between them and the Most High. It's not my fucking judgment.
But
You know
we're
what I'm
here. You told us here earlier that we're supposed to be about the truth and care for others and all that. So we're caring for others
we
by reading the
are.
Bible. Let me finish my point.
We
We're
are,
reading
but
the
what you're
Bible,
saying is
interpreting
not
it, and then going and
confirmable
sharing.
true.
Okay, but you don't even have an opinion on it. So how can you be
It's not
How can you
confirmable
care for
true.
other people?
I can confirm that it is 100% true that the jab has graphene oxide in it. I can confirm that with science and I can prove it.
Good.
Right? I could also prove that shit reacts
pork in
to
it, too.
5 gigahertz signals, right?
Okay, good.
I could also prove that it's part of a mind control experiment that dates back to the World War II. And it
No,
was
it's not,
funneled
dude.
in.
That's nonsense. It's Bible
Listen.
prophecy. It's not a mind control experiment.
Listen,
God's
man.
identifying his left-hand side. That's it.
You saying that it's Bible prophecy, you also saying that the Most High is behind all of it. So if he chose to use this fucking technology to do it, are you saying it's not true?
No, I'm saying God's identifying his left-hand side. It's not a mind control experiment.
What do you
What
mean?
the hell you're talking
Look,
about? It's not a
The
mind control experiment. God's identifying
the
his
devil
equity
wants
side
to be the
with the
most
mark.
high, so he needs to create.
No,
Right?
he doesn't. What verse
Li-
do you get that
listen,
from?
listen,
The devil
listen.
does not want to be the most
Just
high.
listen to me for a second. Hear me out, and if you disagree with me, we'll go
Yeah,
over
what verse
everything
says?
that you disagree with me about.
What
Does the
verse?
devil not want to be like the Most High and have
According to what verse?
essentially, you know how like there's the Ruach HaKodesh, how there's the Spirit of the Almighty? So the devil don't have that. And in order to really be like the Most High, he would need to create a synthetic spirit, right? And it would be controlled by the Antichrist, which would be an artificial consciousness, right? Like an AI. And this AI would control man.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, hold on, Mike.
You feel me?
Brother,
Through this
brother.
mind control.
Okay, Mike, hold on, brother. You're going on to too many topics, man. You're going on to too many topics. We want to deal with this real quick.
So you wanted the
What
truth.
verse in the Bible? What verse in the Bible says that Satan wants to be like the most?
Does it have to be in the Bible to be true?
Where's that at?
Yeah.
Are you
actually.
saying that I could find nothing to be true that is not
See,
in the Bible?
So wait a sec.
Are you saying that there's that if it's
No, but if
not
you're
in the
going to make a
Bible, it's
statement
not
from the
true?
scriptures, you have to pull up a
I
scripture
have to
to
make statements
confirm it.
that are in the scripture or they're false. Is that what you're saying?
Be
No, but-
relevant to the things in the Bible. Yes, of course.
Well, I don't believe that to be true,
No.
and I think that's a really
Oh,
narrow perspective
okay,
on
wait
life.
a second. Wait a
Well, that's
second.
your position. You just say
Okay,
random
Mike.
nonsense and then expect us to
Okay, Mike,
applaud.
How are
hold
you
on a
going to say
second,
it's
brother.
nonsense when you don't know about it? I could
Well,
show
your
you the
opinion's
truth.
dumb. You don't even have a position on the mark.
My
of the beast.
opinion is based on what I've observed with my fucking eyes and
You
my
don't
mind.
even have an opinion on the biggest prophecy in the entire book of Revelation. You're like, I don't know. So how can we
What
take you
don't I know about? Which prophecy?
What is it? Revelation.
Why do I
13.
have to know about the prophecy?
Oh,
Am I a
okay.
Good
fucking
question. Good
prophet?
question. Let me read a verse. Let me read a verse.
Oh,
Let me read a
okay,
verse.
hold on.
This
Guys.
is why.
All right,
You have
guys,
to have a
hold on a
You
second.
want me to be a prophet?
Yeah. Yes. Actually, that I'm glad.
Why do I gotta be a prophet?
Because I'll read the verse. I'll explain it. And I fell at his feet to work. Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. So you do
Right.
have to have a prediction in hand. Yes.
Well, no, I don't have to have.
Okay, I have to chime in.
You're tripping.
I want to chime in
That's
real
what the
quick.
Bible says.
I want
You're tripping.
to, Mike, I want to chime in, brother. Let me talk. Okay, let me just chime in real quick.
Bro, you do
Are
you.
you referring to what is that, Isaiah the 14th chapter, to try to say that Satan wants to be like the Most High?
Yeah, I believe he does. I believe that the devil wants
But
to be
where's
the
that
most
at?
high.
Are the only place you could go to?
Well, why does he
Okay,
try to
but
get
that's
people
not
to
in the
worship
Bible, though.
him
So that's
and
your
sacrifice
opinion.
their
But you
kids
can't
unto
argue
him?
that because that's nowhere.
Why does he
in the
do
Bible.
all this shit? Is this not what the Most High wants of us? And why does the
Where are
devil
you getting that
constantly
from?
get
Where's the
people to do this shit?
Because God's telling him to do it.
God's telling him to be like him.
God telling him to do various things.
Some of the shit y'all say is ridiculous. Y'all gotta realize that.
No, it's
Just
only
because
ridiculous
you
to
read a
you.
couple Bible verses
Okay.
It's
doesn't
only
mean that
ridiculous
you,
to you because all
So-
you do is just
Yo,
freaking light up.
all
and
you
then
do
just
is mental
state your
backflips
stupid
with the
opinion,
scripture.
dude.
That doesn't make it true.
You just sit there and try and rhyme off your stupid opinions and expect me to applaud your nonsense, dude.
You judge my opinions based on what?
It's the Bible.
Your knowledge of like 20,000 verses that you
Yes.
memorize. What does that
Right.
matter?
Right. Yes.
What does that matter
exactly.
to anybody?
Because
Think the
these
Most High is
verses
going
are
to
like-
count how many verses you memorized and give you a cookie?
No, it's not that we're memorizing them. We're using them to test your spirit.
You
Are
ain't
you
using
coming-
them
are
to
you coming
test
in the-
nothing.
Are you coming in the spirit, like it says here, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy? Are you claiming?
You
Okay,
exposing your
I
own
want to
spirit
chime in.
for what it is.
Do you have a testimony of
I
Jesus
want
or
to
not?
chime in. Hold on a second. Guys, hold on a second. I want to chime in. Let's talk about nothing else other than what the brother said about Satan being the Most High. Okay, I want to see where is that in the Bible. You can't make a statement like that and not support it. That would be like, what if somebody was to say, well, do you know that Jesus also had children? Do you know that Jesus
Right.
was a father? I'd ask them, well,
Right.
where's that in the scripture?
Let me
And then they're saying,
Google this. for
well,
you, brother.
that's not in there.
I'll
But
Google.
it's like,
I'll Google this for you, ETT. Hang
Yeah,
tight.
let's
but
get
somebody
it.
said it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's just hearsay. It's like an
Go.
opinion. It's nothing. It's
Yo,
gossip.
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna type it out. Satan wants to be the most high, right? In Google, And then it says we got Isaiah 14:14, right? That's the first like search results for Satan wants to be the most high, right?
Okay.
And it says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the most high. And this is Satan talking. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm not making this shit up, bro. Like I said, test your own spirit.
Let's read the whole chapter, man. This is getting
Read it.
ridiculous. So let's get into this. So Isaiah 14:11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Okay. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. So what's your position on that?
I said Satan wants to be like the most high.
That's not what this is talking about. You have to read 13 and 14, man. You can't just read 14.
Are you smoking pot?
Let me read 13, dummy. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. What does that mean?
Oh, Lucifer, son of the morning.
Okay.
Right? You see that? You
Yep.
know who that is.
How art thou cut down to the ground?
How art thou fallen from heaven? O Lucifer, son of the morning.
Okay,
right?
so he's here on earth, active. We got that part. Good. Now what is he
How
doing?
art
while he-
thou
Okay.
cut down to the ground, which thou didst weaken the nations?
Okay,
For
so
thou
he's
hast
do-
said in thine heart,
Okay.
he's saying, you said this in your heart, I
Okay.
will ascend into heaven.
Okay, what does that mean?
Exalt my throne above the stars
What does that mean?
of Elohim.
What does that mean?
He's saying, you said in your heart that you will ascend into heaven and
But what does
exalt
that
your throne
mean is
above
what
the
I'm
stars.
asking you.
That's
does
what it
that mean?
means. There's
No,
deep,
what does
there's
that
no
mean?
inner
You're
meaning.
putting all these stupid space stations and all this nonsense in the
What
sky.
doesn't it mean?
That's what
Tell
it
me.
means. That's
Tell
what
me
it means.
what?
They're doing all this stuff in the space, setting up all these space stations, putting all this stuff in the sky, telling us that they know the expanse of the heavens and all that. And so that's what that means.
Where does it say that?
It literally says, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the devil saying he's
Do you
gonna put his
understand? Do you
throne
understand what
above the stars.
do you understand what Ball Earth propaganda tells us? That they have the whole universe mapped out and it's like
Okay.
parsecs long and they squish
All right.
God. The God's not even there. Okay. There's no, the extent above us is the firmament.
Okay.
Okay. So they say that there's
And
stuff out there that like goes beyond that. So that's
all
what it
right,
says.
so
I
he's
will
gonna
exalt my
sit
throne.
upon the
Let me finish my
mount
point. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Where are the stars? In the
and
firmament. So they say that their throne is like this vast universe. Okay. With all these planets, which is all false.
so what does it mean when it says I will ascend
real
above
quick,
the height of the
can I chime
clouds
in real quick?
and
Because
be like the most high?
Right.
You're
Exactly.
gonna say that
okay,
being like the
hold
most
on.
high is about satellites
Yeah.
Okay,
and
hold on a
space
second.
ISS.
navigation?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Now
Yeah,
Can everyone hear
we
me?
can hear you, ETT.
All right, because I'm having connection
We
problems. Can
got
everyone
you.
hear me? Okay, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to chime in because I didn't hear anything that anyone's been saying over the past few minutes. But from what the sound of it, it sounds like someone went to Isaiah the 14th chapter, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Now here's the
Mhm.
problem. This is talking about the king of Babylon. This isn't talking about Satan. This is talking about the king of Babylon when you get the context of the chapter. So I knew you were going to go here to try to prove this, but this isn't talking about Satan. This is talking about
Listen,
the
man.
king of Babylon, though. And this is a
But
parable.
ETT,
This isn't literal.
but
Okay,
ETT,
so
let's
my
just
God,
say it
can you
did.
pull that up to show this is the king of Babylon?
I mean, we
Does
just
it not
read.
say he want to be like the most high? Are you
We
guys
just read
tripping?
it. We just read it, but let's just say even it is what it's kind of describing here. Okay, this is not what he's talking about first and foremost. Like the actual interpretation of this in the last days, if it's a layered prophecy, Okay. I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, above the firmament. Okay. So that's this NASA propaganda. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, the sides of I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
Why is it that you would accept some wild shit about NASA propaganda instead of just accepting it for what? Like, because you got to understand that this book was written, right? It wasn't written for people that knew about NASA propaganda. So what did everyone else who read this verse take from this? Nothing?
No, this is a layered prophecy. These are
Was
things that are going to happen in the
bruh.
future.
You are applying the layer that you want to it. Don't you see the wickedness in it?
Well, no, you're saying that this applies to the last days where this
I'm
will be, I
saying
will
if
be
you
like
just
the
read
Most
this,
High.
it says what it says. And if you don't try to apply your own theories to it, it's pretty simple
So
that
you took
the
the
devil
second
wants
half.
to be the most
You
high.
took the second half of verse 14, but didn't
Yeah,
read
but
the first half of
but
14
the
or
What it
12
problem,
and
says, bruh.
13 or
but the
any of the other
problem.
verses.
Is what it says.
No, but you
Wait,
just took
wait,
the second half of 14 and that's it.
Is what it says.
Yeah, but there's other things before it that it also said.
wait a second. Mighty God, I want to chime in. Wait a second. Whoa. I want to chime in. Wait a second. The context of this entire chapter is dealing with the king of Babylon. So you can't go here and say, "Oh, see, this proves that Satan wants to ascend above the Most High and be like him." But wait a second. But the chapter is talking about the king of Babylon, though. So going by that factor, you can't use this for an argument, brother. We have to establish that this is talking about something else. This isn't talking about Satan. This is talking about the king of Babylon.
He took
My
the
God, can you
second
pull that
half
up
of
real
verse
quick to prove that
14.
point?
He took the second half of verse 14 and made it into like a religion, basically. It's like what that's you got to read. First of all, you got to read the whole verse. It says, "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds." First and foremost, that's what it's talking about. I will be like the Most High. So it's gonna go into God's sort of area or his place. Okay. So first and foremost, you have to understand that's the context when it says, "I will be like the Most High." It's not saying that I'm going to replace the Most High or be the Most High or whatever you're talking about. I don't know what your point is really.
The devil wants to be the most high.
What do you mean?
It's what he wants to be.
Yeah, but this
Okay.
isn't talking about the devil, though. This is the king of Babylon.
I mean, whatever you want to say, bruh.
All right. So let's
So
give you
wait
that.
a
Then what's your
second.
point?
So
Let's
the
just say
whole
that
the
that's
whole
the case.
problem.
Why do you think the devil wants people to worship him and sacrifice unto him? Why do you think he does this?
God's doing it. So you're asking us to
Why do the
you're
false
asking us to
idols
answer a
want that? Why?
question.
Because they
You're
want
asking us to
people
answer a
to.
question in your stupid paradigm.
You're
So why do you
making
do that?
claims about what you believe the Almighty is doing, and I say that is blasphemy.
We don't care.
You can't prove what he's doing,
What do you
and
mean?
you're
we
not
can't prove
aware
what
of
he's
his
doing? It's in the
actions
Bible.
because you can't even understand the Almighty. So how
The
are you
Bi-
going to tell me what he's doing?
It's in the Bible. That's why we read it, brother.
Nah,
What are we talking about?
nah, that's blasphemy.
Oh, it's blasphemy to read the Bible and then know what
No,
God's
I know
doing.
it's blasphemy to claim what the Almighty's doing, unless he's telling you to tell us what he's doing.
Yeah,
That
you're
was-
reading it from the Bible.
You're saying he's telling you to tell us what he's doing?
What are you talking about?
Mm.
Tell you. You're not going to listen. You're
Mhm.
stuck in you're stuck on stupid, dude. So you're not going to listen to anything. So
All right.
it's just yeah, no, I'm not going to tell you anything.
Did the Almighty ordain you a judge on men?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. We're supposed to judge everything.
All right.
So everybody, why do you not judge things, judge people in your life and how to
Pass your judgment.
Yeah, I have.
Go ahead.
You're completely lost, dude. You don't even know what the mark of the beast is, and it's happening right before our very eyes. So what else am I supposed to say? Like, it could not be more obvious. It's just like the mystery of Babylon. How could anybody, not you, but like, how could anybody not know that that's
Because that's all there is. You
right?
You just know all. What could I say to you, right? You've exalted yourself almost as the Most High himself,
on
right?
those things, that's pretty obvious, and God's making it obvious. So
Feel
that
you.
doesn't mean I know all, but that's
No, you know everything.
No, we never
You
said that.
cannot be wrong. Therefore, you have exalted yourself, you know what I mean, above the stars.
No, you're adding.
No,
that
we never said that. We never said that.
All right.
No one ever said that, brother.
Yeah, you're getting too deep on that, man. Let's
But
relax.
the whole problem is Isaiah. Hold on. The whole problem is, here's the whole problem. Isaiah 14 is not talking about Satan. So how could you go there to use that to prove your point if the entire chapter is dealing with the king of Babylon? That's what I'm trying to
ETT,
understand.
read the chapter for me. Let's see who it's talking about.
Because you can't get around that.
Go ahead, read the chapter.
My God, can you read
Let
it
me.
for me, man? I don't
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, I can. Yeah, Revelation. Sorry, Isaiah 14:4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the gold city ceased? The Lord hath broken the
Oh,
staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. So that's the context, first and foremost. But
He's
read that
telling them
again.
to take
Read
it
that again.
he's telling them to take it to the ruler of Babylon. Bring him this prophecy, right?
right.
Yeah, but
Okay. So he's bringing him the
no, it's
prophecy,
going into
which
what he's about to say.
included
So the thing written is
he's
directed
bringing
towards
him the
him.
prophecy, which included verses about what
Key word
Satan was
is
doing in his heart.
The key word is against the king of
Mhm.
Babylon. Thou
Okay.
shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
Right. It's a
Right.
weaponized proverb against the king of Babylon.
All I'm telling you is that Babylon in modern day, which we agree is America, this description that it's saying, which is relevant in the past, is also relevant in modern day with NASA. And if you can't accept that, then whatever, we can agree to disagree. But it's very clear that if you are going to use this in modern day, it is talking about America, okay, the American government and NASA, and they're literally doing what I read. They're literally doing that, trying to set their nest amongst the stars. They're trying to say there is no firmament. The edge of the universe is way above where God is, and there is no God, basically.
I agree that we are being deceived,
Okay,
right? To believe all these things.
good.
And I agree that the way that the scripture writes, it is clear that there's a firmament and flat earth, etc.
Okay.
So I believe that the masses are being deceived.
Good.
However, I don't believe that this verse originally was written to describe that.
What do you mean originally? It's a lot of these prophecies are layered. Do you know?
So,
You
like
understand
you
the
said,
concept
this
of
was
layered?
being brought, right? This was being brought to Babylon.
Yes, ancient Babylon. Yes,
Right.
Right.
And it was not about NASA in that time.
Right. But in the last days, like even if you read Jeremiah and other, really almost all the prophets, it is speaking about things that God was doing in the past. But then if you interpret it, correlate it is a good word against Revelation, you'll realize, oh, these are all actually double. A lot of these are double meaning.
So the
Layered.
devil is trying to be like the Most High. Exactly.
If you
That's what I
use
said.
it, if you look at it in this context where he's trying to replace God
Wait
with
a
the
second.
NASA
Well,
and all that.
in both contexts, the devil wants to be like the Most High.
No.
And that's what I claimed, and y'all disagreed. But
No,
that's
because if he wants to be like the
Okay,
Most High,
but
then that's
Mike,
righteous. How do you not
no,
understand that, dude?
no.
If
I got nothing
I
else to
want
say
to
on
talk
that.
real quick.
we want to be like
Hold
the
on a
Most
second.
High. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go get a cookie. I'll be right back.
Yo, let me chime in. I want to chime in real quick. I want to chime in. Okay, here's the problem. Here's the problem for the audience. The brother went here to say, oh, see, well, Satan's trying to be above the Most High. But wait a second. We went here and we read the verse that this proverb is against the king of Babylon. So when it
Right.
speaks about Lucifer in this, it's talking about the king of Babylon. This isn't talking about the spiritual demon Satan. Satan isn't trying to exalt himself above the Most High. That's Christian mythology. Satan is in obedience to the Most High. Satan has to order to the Most High and then to carry out his will according to the Bible. So what this brother's
Right.
saying is Christian spew. Look that word up. Right, this is Christian nonsense that he's on here trying to spew, because we went into it and it literally says this proverb against the king of Babylon. So I mean, there's no way around.
But Mike,
He just
now
doesn't
you're accusing us of calling the Most High evil, but if you're saying that Satan is trying to be like the Most High, that would be a righteous objective. So what's your understanding on that?
What I'm saying is he wants to be worshipped and he wants the glory. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be like the Most High. He wants to have his own religion where people worship him. You know what I'm saying? Etc.
But that's a bold statement when you say you want to be like the Most High. That
didn't
conjures
he
up all
model?
aspects. That conjures up all aspects of the Most High. So he does not want to be like the Most High, because if he was like the Most High, then he would not do evil, right?
The scripture literally says that, but I mean, we could disagree on that. That's fine.
Wait,
Pops just came in and told me that in New Zealand,
yeah, but
they just
the
passed a bill
whole problem is it's not
that
even
supports
talking
your
about
Mark theory.
Yeah, it doesn't talk about that first and foremost because it's Babylon. Second of all, even if you do, we give you the fact that it is whatever you're talking about. It's talking about things that this evil thing, whatever if you want to say it's Lucifer or whatever, is doing. And it's not saying that he's trying to like model the Most High. You're making it into a very general statement for some reason, and that's not what this is talking about. So
All right, we could
we
disagree
gotta
on
agree
that.
to disagree. Okay,
That's fine.
cool.
But
So what's
yo,
going on in New Zealand?
apparently they just passed a bill where people can't do
Okay, so-
anything. They can't buy food, nothing, without getting the jibby jab.
Ooh, Pops, put that in the chat. Is he here? Where is
No,
he?
he's not. He just told me.
All right, cool. So
look, bro. Maybe you're right.
this is it.
It might be unfolding before our eyes. All right.
It might be. And I give you credit, even though I've been tough on you. It's a humble thing to say. I could be wrong too, but I would say I doubt it at this point. Highly doubt it. So we'll see.
I'm a dude who stands as liquid on the truth, bro. You know what I mean? We just got to keep going towards the truth.
I'll agree with you on that.
I'm not gonna sit here and say it is, but yeah, it looked like it. You know what I mean?
Well, here we go, man. We made a little progress with Mike. I like that. That's good, man.
It's not about progress. You got to understand that there's sometimes
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
always
argue with
good.
you, and I
Yeah,
already
that's always a
believe what you
topic.
believe, but I want to know why you believe it, and so by agreeing with you, I ain't gonna learn that.
But all I'm saying is that you can't come
Neither
here
is
and call
anyone
us-
else.
You can't call us like people who are like too into the Bible when that's our whole point of our channel. You know what I mean?
You
It's
got to
like
realize you
and
guys
making
are
fun of
not.
us.
You guys are not gonna be perfect. I am not perfect, but you guys are not perfect.
Agreed.
There are things that you're gonna be wrong about. There are things that you have been wrong about, and that's just what it is. We gotta accept that.
No one ever said we were. What are you talking
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying we gotta keep it open. We can't just be standing up here on a
about? Yeah, that's
podium
cool, but
and
can
be
you
like,
name
I
us
know
something?
On certain things we can be open, but on certain things the Bible doesn't have any wiggle room. For example, hell, it doesn't have. If
I've
it did,
not
then I would
once
leave it
seen you
open.
guys take a stance where you didn't really know. You'll usually stand on something that really don't even make sense, opposed to that. And I think that's a flaw.
No, I would say on maybe 10 topics, ET and I, we know certain things. The Bible
Can you
says
give
we
us an
didn't come up
example?
with
Just
it.
because
Give us
you
an
think you
example.
know don't mean you know, right?
No, the Bible knows. It's not us that knows.
Right.
The Bible says it.
But it doesn't mean that you're interpreting it
There's not,
correctly.
if we were
either.
interpreting it, we would say an interpretation, but it's not an interpretation at this point on many topics. For example, hell, second one, Mystery Babylon, the earth shape, and all these things. They're not interpretations, what the Bible says. So
Look, yo, I ain't gonna try to be a stumbling block, right? By just sitting here and smashing what I believe the truth to be into your head, and you smash me in what you believe, right?
well, you don't even have an opinion, so how can you tell us what the truth is? You ask you what the mark of the beast is, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I
So
think we
how's that?
established something important that the mark may be the jibby jab, right? And it's actually starting to unfold right
But
now
that only
before
came out
our
after
eyes.
you got that cookie and those carrots, man, which is good. You know,
It was just carrots. I ain't no cookie, bro.
All right, cool. So that's good. But after the carrot came out, then I was like, okay, then you.
How'd you know I was eating a carrot, bro? Did it sound like a carrot?
Yeah, actually, it did. Yeah, it sounded healthy.
Bro, man's on point, bro.
That's good. So, well, that's progress. So, on certain topics, we know what the Bible says, not what we say. We know the Bible says that whatever it is, hell, shape of the earth. I would say even mystery.
Can I interject real quick? Can I interject real quick?
Go for it.
Real quick. I want to add something in. So if Satan is trying to be like the Most High, right? But why do we see certain times in the scriptures where Satan goes to the Most High and has a friendly chat with him, like Job, the 2nd chapter, for an example? They're not in war against each other, right? Satan went to the Most High and they basically put a bet, like, hey, look, see my servant Job over there? Hey, look, you can go mess with him, right? You got to spare his life, but yeah, you can go mess with him. Let's test him, right? So God and Satan were not in a war against each other. They were just simply, saying, hey, look, Satan said it, we can get it. Might gotta go ahead and get that.
Why do we see him getting cast into the lake of fire?
Well,
that's a good point.
That's
because our point.
What I'm saying is, if he get cast into the lake of fire, right?
Yeah, that proves the worst.
And he's to be destroyed. What's he being destroyed for?
God doesn't need him anymore.
Well, why don't? What was he doing though?
All this stuff, dude, that we just read. The mark of the beast, the freaking deceptions and all that. Like, God uses whatever you want to call Satan or his left-hand side or the beast, however you want to label it. God uses his entire left-hand side for evil and deception.
So explain to me how you have an antichrist without an anti-father.
And there's not one antichrist. There's lots of antichrists.
Mm.
There is no singular antichrist.
Well, it is an antichrist.
And how do you
Right.
have an antichrist, which is the inversion of the son, if you don't have the inversion of the father?
I don't know what you mean, man. That
I
might
mean,
be-
why does the evil one, right? Why does the adversary
you
create
getting?
wicked spirits to come and, you know what I mean, inject false consciousnesses into people's minds to make them say wicked things about the father?
that's his job. That's his
And
very
who is
Oh,
he leading them to
uh-oh,
worship
wait a second,
instead?
wait a second, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. I want to chime in on something. Wait a second. The deceiving spirits come from the Most High. That's in 1 Kings
So
22, verse 19 on down.
who is he
The
having
deceiving
these people
spirits
worship
come from the
instead
Lord.
of the father?
So what are you
Who are they
what are you
worshiping
getting at?
instead? When the people is deceived to worship
Many
false
people deceive.
gods, who would
I'll
he
answer that.
gods?
I'll answer that. Satan literally wants that his left hand side to worship literally anything except God. So you can pick a woman, you can pick your money, you can pick a car, whatever. It doesn't matter. Science, quote science. It doesn't matter. Just don't
Why does he
worship the
want
Most High.
people to worship him and sacrifice their children unto him?
Some do, not all. So a lot of people don't even know what Satan is
What do
or
you mean
whatever.
some do, not all? What do
A
you
lot of
mean?
people don't even know anything about the Bible. So what? They're still worshiping Satan. They don't even know what Satan is.
Bro, what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? What about the people that sacrifice their kids unto him unknowingly?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised people do.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I'm not saying everybody on God's left-hand side, they don't know about the Bible. They're just random people all over the earth. Like they're Muslims, they're Buddhists, they're Hindus. They don't know what the hell Satan is or
Open your mind of Allahib, you feel me, bro? Mind
the
of God
point.
ain't the way, bro. You know what I mean?
Satan's quote unquote job, God's left-hand side, their job is to get you or anybody to worship anything except the Most High.
If
You can
that's
pick
true, why you sound like a
whatever.
robot sometimes, dog?
In what sense do I sound robotic?
I'm just saying, you'd be regurgitating shit like a CPU cyborg, you know what I mean? Like
My initials
like
are
a,
CP.
like an
so
auctioneer and shit, you know what I mean?
I'm a literal CP. You, I guess. I don't know.
Well, stop being a damn Bible NPC, you know what I mean? To use your brain.
But I am using my brain. Our brain now is being reprogrammed, so to speak, by the Bible, and I like that. I'm happy about that.
Well,
I'm proud of
if
that.
that's working for you, bro, you know what I mean? Keep moving.
Well,
Guys,
if it comes true, it's
this
working.
guy's. Wait a second. Wait a second. Let me chime in. I want to say something. So this guy is on here telling us to use our brain, but yet he said you can prove things, that are true that have to do with the Bible without going to the Bible.
Yeah,
Right?
I
It's like,
can.
what the hell are you talking
You want
about,
me to
man?
show you, bro?
What are you
Yeah.
saying?
How does that make sense? When if the truth is Christ and he comes in the volume of the book, then yeah, the volume of the book is the truth. It's one to
Well,
one.
what is the Bible?
I would say it's the 66 book
do you
plus the
mean?
Apocrypha. That's what I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, which Bible is the Bible then? Since they all have different book counts, different books. The first Bible, is that the Bible? Or the second Bible?
No, like I said, it's the collection of books, all those ones that I just listed.
Bro, there's been like 20-something variations of the Bible since it was created that led up to that collection of books.
Yeah,
Which
no
one
worries.
which one is the Bible?
The ones that we're reading now.
Okay, let me chime in on that. Let me chime in. I want to chime in real quick. I have a book that I have, which is may I say, a reiteration of the first book, right? So they had the first book, but then they came back and revised it, right? So they added a little bit in and made it a little bit better, right? And made it easier to understand in the first version, right? So it's still the same book, but it made it a little bit more easier for us to understand, right? So the Bible, I would say the King James is what I would go to, today, but the Lord had them interpret it into other languages so we could properly understand it, today in the time that we're in.
So, Mike, I guess what's your authoritative source? I guess let's say you don't want it to be the Bible, the canonical
The Most
Bible.
High.
Okay, so like, how does somebody learn about that Most High?
All things that are true are from the Most High, and all things that are not true are from Satan.
Okay, so that just shows our disagreement. Though we have
Well,
to
it
agree
says
to
he
disagree.
is not the author of confusion.
but you don't understand that verse. Everybody quotes that, but they don't read the whole thing. Let me
Who's
get that
ever?
right.
What does
Who's
that-
ever? You've
what does that
literally
mean?
spoken to everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
what
that
does
in
that
quotes
mean?
that
existence.
verse, they
Or
don't know
everyone,
what
every
they're talking
person
about.
you have ever encountered in your life has used that verse incorrectly.
Yeah,
And you're assuming
absolutely.
now that I am, because why?
I'm saying yeah, you are using it incorrectly. I know that.
Explain how.
I'll read
Tell-
it.
Tell me how your doctrine is superior to the truth.
No, it's not that it's superior. You got to read the whole verse. That's you just
Okay,
read
read
little
the
pieces
whole
of-
verse.
I will. 1 Corinthians 14:13. For God is not the author of confusion. Listen to this, but of peace. Are we done yet? No, as in all churches of the saints. Okay, so God's elect, the saints, they're not going to be in confusion because they all teach the same thing.
He's not the author of confusion. He does not write it. Who writes
Amongst the
the
saints.
confusion? But who writes the confusion?
Okay, let
God
me
does.
chime in. I want to chime in.
Come on, man. Why you
Real
gotta
quick,
argue
real
with the
quick.
damn scripture all the
Mike,
time?
Mike, hold on. I want to talk. Hold on. I want to talk real quick. I want to talk. In this chapter, it speaks about how women are supposed to keep silence in the churches. So what Paul's talking about is the Lord's not the author of confusion within these
Yeah, those
churches.
women
The Lord
should
wants
be
it to be
silent in
in
the
order.
churches.
But there are verses that we can see that the confusion
But
comes
yo,
from the
them
Lord.
women should be silent in the church.
Okay, but that's what he was talking about there, as mine of God shown you.
Yeah, it refers to the.
Yeah, no one's
who?
arguing with that. What are you getting at? We're just answering your
I'm
question.
saying he's
Could
not
you-
the author of confusion. Why are you saying he is?
Yeah, he is.
Right.
If
Well,
it's not in the saints,
that's not true.
no. But we just read in the
But
saints.
he's not
there's
the
no
author
confusion.
of confusion. Why are you trying to say? he
Okay,
is?
well, you're
Outside
taking
of
it out
that-
of context.
Exactly, that's the point.
He's not the
You're
author of
taking it out of
confusion.
context.
Mike's the king of just taking the tail end of a verse. He doesn't even read the whole
Okay,
verse.
Mike,
He
hold
reads
on.
the last
Why
verse.
you want to make the Almighty wicked?
We're
That's
not. man.
wicked.
You are.
You don't understand? You trying
You're-
to say he's the author of confusion? He is
Man.
the evil. Okay,
You don't know what you're
wicked.
doing. You're actually making God evil because you're trying to convince other people to go and read the Bible and say some of those are lies when they're actually
I'm
true.
trying to convince people that the Almighty is not the author of confusion because that's what it says in the Bible, which you consider the authority.
Yeah,
So
but this is talking
what-
about the saints.
What do you mean it's talking about the saints?
It says, as in all churches of the saints.
So what are you trying to say
We just read the
exactly?
context.
Yeah, outside of that group,
Yeah,
there's
that's the
tons of confusion.
So outside of the saints, he is the author of confusion?
Correct. Absolutely.
But it
correct.
doesn't say that. It just says he's not the author
Well, no,
of
in
confusion.
another verse, the other verse that says Job 12:16, God is behind the deception.
Yo,
So
how come every verse y'all have an explanation that goes against what it's saying?
no, it's
Don't you
precept upon
understand that
precept.
you speak blasphemy
No, it's you gotta understand the
continuously,
Bible. It's
daily?
No, the Bible is a precept. You gotta do it.
Why do you gotta explain every verse in your way?
It's not our way.
Okay.
We're just reading.
This is written
Okay,
in a
real
way
quick.
that anyone can understand, like you claim it's
Okay.
preserved.
Okay, real
Right?
quick. I want to chime in. I want to
You're
talk.
just cherry picking.
You trying to make
okay,
every
hold
verse a
on.
mystery when it ain't even
Hold
a
on
mystery.
a second. I want to chime in.
You always want to chime in.
Hold on. Guys, hold on. I want to chime in. I want to say something. Mine God, go ahead and get 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 11. Let's read this real quick. And then I want to add something in.
I'm
Let's
sure
read
you
the
got a
verse for the
verse, and then you
context
want to
first before I-
explain the verse
before
to
this.
me, right?
Yeah. 2 Thessalonians 2:11, and for this cause God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Wow. That's Elohim, dog.
So, yo, why you believe those lies?
So
That's not
wait, so going by what Mike says, wait a second. So going by what okay, Mike, hold on a second, brother. Don't talk over me when I'm talking, brother. I told you I wanted to elaborate on it. So let me do that. We went to the verse you brought up, which says the Lord's not the author of confusion. We agree with you, but the context is it's talking about in the churches. That's what it was talking about. And the deception behind the confusion. Okay, that the Lord has people deceived. Okay, so what one do you agree with then? What one's right and what one's wrong, and how do you know according to your understanding?
I can't really hear you. You have to say it again, bro.
Well, we just I guess to summarize what he said, we have 2 Thessalonians 2:11, we
Okay,
have Job
can you guys
12:16,
hear me?
we have all these.
He's
you
doing
guys-
the all spark.
There's just a delay. Just so you know, ETT, there's just a bit of a delay, but we do hear you.
It sounds like Optimus Prime, though, bro. On my end, I hear it like the all spark.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can. Now we can.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just make it real quick. I'll make it very simple so I don't have to talk long. We went to the verse you brought up that says the Lord's not the author of confusion. We explained it. It said that's in the churches. That I went to
No,
a
it
verse
said Elohim is not the author of
that says the
confusion.
Lord is behind
Wait.
the
It
deception
says
and the
God. It
confusion.
don't say the Lord, yo.
So what does the verse mean that I just read?
Well, it's saying Elohim, bro, is not the author of confusion. But
What does the verse mean I just said?
right? It's saying he's the author of not the author of confusion, but the author of peace.
What does the verse mean that we
He's
just
talking about 2 Thessalonians.
read?
Yeah, 2:11. For this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
Context is in
You're
the
trying to
churches.
say that he's only in the churches, but it doesn't say only. It says, for Elohim is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
Right. So it
Right?
only applies to
It's saying that
What's it say?
he is of peace, and the peace is the peace that is had within all churches of the saints.
correct.
It's just referencing what kind of peace it is, but it's not saying that there is no confusion, right? It's not saying that. You're trying to say that there's no confusion for the saints. That's not what it's saying. That's your explanation.
No,
It's
that's
simply
what
saying
it
he's
says.
not the author of confusion, and he is of peace. The peace that is as in
So
all
are you trying
churches
to
of the
use this?
saints.
Okay.
That's
So
the structure of the sentence. But
okay,
y'all want to
so
rearrange it.
okay, okay, very good. So you're using this to say.
What?
Okay, so what about all of the 100 verses we have that say that God's behind the evil and the deception? Do all of those not exist
What are you
anymore?
saying?
We're not making God evil, Mike. We're just explaining what God said. So we're just reading it. So it's not we're not saying
All right,
we're not
I'll
saying
say it
anything.
again.
Yeah.
What about all the verses we have that exist?
ETT,
Like we-
dude, maybe drop out and come back on, dude. There's like a massive delay.
Right, it's self-explanatory. It's self-explanatory. All right, well, watch my StreamYard time then, because I'm not sure what the hell's going on with the internet, man.
Mhm.
Right, so you guys can wrap it up in the next couple of minutes, and then I'm gonna have to end the show. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so point being, we covered a lot of different topics here. If the mark is what's happening now, and I'm glad that your dad looked at that New Zealand thing, because definitely in that area, New Zealand, Australia, I mean, it pretty much is. It's not even causative; it's almost like forced now. So it's getting crazy. So we'll see. But I enjoyed the chat. Thanks for that.
I mean, if we go up to the verse right above that last one, bro, you know what I
Yep.
mean? And
Second Thessalonians.
and the ruach of the prophets are subject to the prophets. You feel me?
Oh, which verse is that? In what now?
That's the one right before.
In
for
Second
Elohim.
Thessalonians, or
No. We got Corinthians 14:32.
okay. Let's see it. 14.
For ye may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn and all may be comforted. You know what I'm saying? And the ruach of the prophets is subject to the prophets.
That speaks of reincarnation. That's a good one.
I don't believe that.
And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
The ancient
What's it mean?
prophets are here on earth right now.
I
what's it
don't
mean?
see that verse saying that. I mean, you could believe what you want, and I'm not going to say that's not true because I haven't studied into that. But that
Okay.
verse, I don't believe is saying that.
Well,
Feel me?
I'm curious,
We
why'd you
don't-
bring it up? What do you think it means?
Well,
And the
what I'm
spirits-
saying is, you know what I'm saying, for what it's saying right here, for all you may prophesy one by one, that all
Yeah.
may learn. You know what I'm saying? Say you could prophesy so that everyone could learn and all people may be comforted, you know what I mean, by the truth in the word, right? But it's saying essentially that when you out there prophesying, now you're going to be subject to the prophets. If you're out there, you're going to talk prophecy, then you're going to be subject to actual prophets. You feel me? Because Elohim is not the author of confusion. So if you're going to be out there doing the work, you're going to end up getting confronted. You know what I mean?
What that's saying, and this, I'm glad you brought this up, because prophecy is important. That's why 32 and 33 and all these things, and even I would say, and all that may be comforted, we're prophesying because it's of comfort to us, because then that means that God's behind it, first and foremost. Second, this notion that the spirits of prophets are subject to the prophets, God is not the author of confusion. Prophecy is not confusing because God is doing it. And so that's also related to that. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace in all in the churches and the saints. So the saints will be sealed in the last days, and so they will have a testimony, a valid testimony.
This
And
is
it
a
has
mint.
to have them. And it
This
has.
is a
Let me
mint
finish my
chapter,
point.
bro.
Let
If
me
we
finish my point.
continue, bro, to 37, you know what I'm saying?
But let
If
me
any
finish my
man think
point
himself
related
to
to
be a
these three
prophet.
verses. These three verses are reaffirming that the churches of the saints, okay, they're here in the last days. They're going to be sealed, and then they're going to be prophesying.
Where?
And what does that do? It comforts people.
Where does it say that?
Here in 1 Corinthians 14, 13, 31 to 33.
For all you may prophesy. Where does it say what you're saying, though? I'm just saying what
Which
it
part?
says is what it says.
Yeah, I'm telling you that the for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace in all churches of the saints. The saints are not going to be in confusion arguing because they're all sealed. They're singing the same song as what the Bible.
Yeah, but this doesn't have anything to do with what it's saying other than the state of the piece. You understand?
Okay.
Like you're trying to draw. See, that's the problem. We can't draw these things out of it.
No. But I'm just explaining how these three verses are happening in the last days. That's my point. Because again,
you can say what you want.
all these verses are relevant to the last days. That's the whole point. It's all leading
Right.
up to this. Okay?
Right. Check out 37 though, right? If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of Yahuwah.
Okay.
Right? But if any man may be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophecy and forbid not to speak with tongues. Let all things be done decently and in order. Right?
Good. Yeah, agreed. So that proves that when God is
Well,
speaking
anyway,
through
guys, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
close the show in a minute, man.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
enjoyed
the
it, ATT.
end of our show.
I'll probably go live this weekend. Maybe the quality will be better, but you can join there if you want. But enjoyed it, man. Thanks again. Peace.
Thank you, ETT, bro, for having us.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by, Mike.
You already
Yeah,
know.
you're welcome back again, man. Hey, next time bring Pops with you, man.
Bro, you're welcome on our joints too. We do some joints sometimes, you know what I mean?
All right, well, thanks for coming on, man. We'll see
yeah, you already know.
Yo, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and send me a message at my Gmail, man. Okay, send me a message at my Gmail.
I don't have your
so I can
I don't have your
so I can get that. All right, 'cause
I don't have your
to
thing, bro.
Go on my YouTube. Okay, listen, go.
I had you.
Okay,
I
go
sent
on
you to
my
Discord.
YouTube. Go to the About section and scroll down, and you'll see it.
You don't got Discord, bro?
Yeah, but I don't have that anymore. I don't have it because it was in the last stream. No, I don't got Discord at the moment.
Yo, just download that joint on your phone, and you get all these updates. Cause look, we got a lot of content creators that all do live streams, and they're not all in the same. You know what I'm saying? They're not all in the truth of religion. They're just all different people, and you could go on their things and put out your truth, but they're all in the truth sphere. You know what I'm saying? These are all people that want to put out the truth, and you could, you know what I mean, expand what you guys do to other networks and gain more followers. And that's why we have this network on YouTube that we've created. You know what I mean? I welcome you guys to it. There's always different live streams that we participate in. Not all of them are, you know what I mean, spiritual, religious debates. A lot of these are just truth debates. And I believe all truth is the word. You know what I mean? So uncovering anything that's not true, you feel me?
Right. I'd agree with you.
If you guys want to, you know what I mean, become
Yeah, man. Well, anyway, just go ahead.
These is all good people, you feel me?
Okay, real quick. Yeah, I hear you, man. I'll just say this because I'm gonna have to go now because my internet's acting up on me. But just go ahead and hit me up at the Gmail. Just go to my channel, go to the About section, scroll down.
I'm gonna be
and
real.
you'll
I don't
see
really
my
do email like that. You know what I mean?
contact there.
I don't
Just hit
got
me up there.
like I
and
have
send me that
email, but I
information.
don't be like I can send you an email.
All right,
but
well
I
then
won't
do
get
this. Do this, man. Then go ahead.
it. I got too much crap in my email account. You know what I mean? I don't even use it like that.
Okay, can you comment underneath the video? Okay. Can you comment underneath the video then? Could you do that then? Because I don't have any other way to. to get
I
the
I
message.
shot you the link right here
other
in the
than that.
private. You don't get the private chat?
Okay, yeah. I'll go ahead and deal with that, man. But anyway, man, I'm gonna have to go for
Yeah,
now,
yo,
man.
be
I'll see what I
good,
can do
bro.
with
You
that.
know what I mean? Have a good you know what I mean? Shalom Shabbat.
I see it there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you too, man. Shalom. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, real quick, before I go, as I said, something's going on with my audio. That's why I had to quickly wrap this up. I'm not trying to be rude to the brothers, but it's like I'm trying to make a statement, but then it's a 10-second delay. So then it chimes in 10 seconds later when they're in the middle of the conversation, when they're asking me something else. So then when I respond, then it comes in 10 seconds later when they're talking about another topic. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to end it like that, unfortunately. But hey, that's Satan for you, man. Just trying to, cause you know, unneeded aggravation, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Um, let me see. Yeah, thanks for everyone stopping by. I will we'll go live again, right? We'll definitely go live again in the next couple of days. But yeah, it was a good discussion for now. So yeah, I'll see you guys around. And I'll end off with saying, of course, all praise to Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai for this truth. And I hope that was, entertaining and edifying to listen to. If anybody made this far to the end, go ahead and put hashtag. Let's see. Go ahead and put hashtag world. That's hashtag world in the comment section down below, just to see if anybody made it to the end of the show. But I'm gonna end off with saying shalom.